Hi, welcome to the channel. Jay, and this is our 2 cents. We talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be having our Tank versus Roach fight, post-fight reaction. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button, and make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live today. How is everybody doing today? I did a pop-up live yesterday before the fight day pop-up live. Everybody came through. Everybody was excited. We was ready for the Tank versus Lamont Roach fight card. And just to give my 2 cents, it did not disappoint. Had a lot of great fights on that card. Man, Gary Russell definitely did his thing against Rayo. Complete shutout. I actually thought Gary Russell was gonna stop Rayo, but that unfortunately didn't happen. But Rayo did get beat up very, very badly. He won that fight 12-0. Just to give my 2 cents, Rayo did not have anything for Gary Russell. I mean, nothing. Like, I don't think he put up a good fight at all. He seemed very outmatched. Gary looked stronger, faster, quicker than him. It just looked like a very, very bad style matchup for Rayo. And the thing I like about Rayo is how he was able to go through those fights with De Los Santos and Chris Colbert and reinvent himself and get better and climb back up the ladder, get him some big wins under his belt. We all know that Pitbull Cruz was a big win. But unfortunately, he came across Gary Russell and was outmatched. I think he was just simply outmatched. I can't think of anything that... Let me know and drop below in the comments if you could think of anything that Rayo could have done better in that fight to either beat Gary Russell or just to make the fight more competitive. I still think Ryo has the opportunity to be competitive at the 140-pound division. I just honestly think he was outmatched and it was a horrible style matchup for him. But what is y'all 2 cents? What did y'all think about the fight? Let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. And make sure if you're coming in here, you punching that like and subscribe button. By the time I get off this live today, and I'm ending today at 7 p.m., I absolutely have to. I got to stay on schedule. I want to have 100 likes. I'll need to have 100 likes by the end of the live stream. So make sure you punching that like button. And if you had a different fight on the card that you thought was your favorite fight, what was it? Let me know. Which of those fights really stood out to you? I'm gonna drop the link early today because, like I said, I'm off of here at 7, y'all. I don't care how good the conversation getting. I'm gonna have to cut it. I gotta be on my schedule this week and moving forward. Gotta make sure I stay on my schedule. Now, before I drop the link, I think it was a good card. I always love the anticipation for a fight and the excitement that the event is able to generate and create. And I don't have any bias here. This is just my 2 cents, and you can have your 2 cents. But I haven't really experienced that with, let's say, the zone fight or a Riyadh season card. I haven't really just experienced that same level of excitement as to when PBC is put on the card. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They have definitely mastered the art of garnering the attention and the excitement for their events. And that's just what it is. So, if you may not know, which I'm sure you've heard, there's a lot of controversy circulating the fight. And give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. So, it's been a lot of controversy surrounding the fight. And I'm just gonna drop the link because at first I was gonna give my 2 cents, but I'm curious as to what others have to say, especially considering the conversation that we had before the fight about how we felt as other fights would go with Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, I will say this: people asked for Gervonta Tank Davis to give them a competitive fight, to put on a competitive fight, and he gave you a competitive fight. He gave you a competitive fight, and I think that now that he gave you a competitive fight, he was never this, he was never that. And it's just that stuff just be weird to me. You've seen his other fights, you've seen the things that he can do, you've seen other things that he's capable of. To me, it looked like he either was ill prepared for this opponent, the opponent was actually good and had answers for Gervonta Tank Davis, and it also looked like it might have been a case of him getting out coached. Believe it or not, he might have just simply got part of it was he got out coached. Now, I'm wondering how people are feeling now about Lamont Roach. I was telling people before this fight, I literally said in a debate that I won, but it got overturned. You cannot definitively say that a fighter is going to get a knockout in a fight. Of course, we all thought he was going to knock him out. I'm not saying we didn't all think that, but I wasn't in my head like, oh, he for sure going to knock him out. No, I mean, I thought he's usually getting the knockout, so most likely he will get it. But I didn't completely write the fight off and was like, oh, I don't want to see it because I know he gonna get the knockout. Well, that mean you don't want to watch no fight from Gervonta Tank Davis because he's assumed to get the knockout in all of his fights. Now, I felt like Gervonta Tank Davis, he looked really unfocused to me. But I'm gonna drop the link before I really just go in on my 2 cents. But I just want to say that people wanted a competitive fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. He gave y'all a competitive fight. And now y'all want to call him names and diminish his skill and say he ain't this. And what's another thing is that's weird to me is how does a fight happen? And this is the problem I had with the Charlo Canelo fight. How does a fight happen and then other fighters start to take credit for the other fighter's success? Like, that's weird. Like, I don't understand that. That's weird to me. I get it. You know, you may feel like, oh, well, I seen some things that he did in that fight that another fighter may be able to also do to neutralize this opponent. So maybe I could see some things there. But y'all not even doing that. Y'all not even like, oh, well, this fighter got this skills that they possess and they could do this. So when they get in there with Tank, they can kind of like the triangle theory thing, even though that really doesn't work. But now all of a sudden, every single person can beat Tank because he had a competitive fight or a bad performance, whichever way you want to look at it. When these other fighters y'all are comparing him to, in my opinion, just to give my 2 cents, do not possess the same things or will be able to do the same things that Lamont Roach does. And a lot of the issue also, or the challenge was in that fight, is that Lamont Roach and Tank are familiar with each other. See, at first, before the fight, people tried to use that against them, like, oh, they friends, and oh, that's all they kept saying. Oh, they friends, they used to fight in the amateurs and this and that. When I know other fighters that have fought they sparring partners, but they're not fighting the sparring partners that they was competing with at the highest level, and they fighting the final national fight and they go number 1 and number 2. No, they're not fighting those sparring partners. They fighting the sparring partners that they beating up on in the fight. So when you're fighting somebody that's familiar with you, that you've damn near literally been fighting since childhood, they know you, they know your power. His pop's been watching you grow up and fight. He probably know all your weaknesses. And this fighter knows your weaknesses, and they have the ability to neutralize your weaknesses, and they're familiar with you, and they've grew up with you. Y'all fought through the amateurs at the highest level, competed with each other. That's going to be a tough fight. And I think the issue is people didn't want to give Lamont Roach any credit. And that's where, in my opinion, the boxing space and the boxing fans get things mixed up, because y'all don't want to give opponents credit. And then when things happen, it can't be simply because the opponent was competitive. It got to be some other stuff going on. You get what I'm saying? So let me drop this link, because I'm sure a lot of y'all got a lot to come up here to say, and I can't wait. And then I'm going to give my 2 cents. There we go. Link is pinned to the top. Because y'all be having a lot to say in the comment section. Y'all be having a lot to say on the post, community post. But I do want everybody to come up, give their 2 cents about the fight. Let me get the number going across the screen. Be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. I see y'all in the back. I'm going to let y'all up. Give me 1 second. You can call in at 281-845-2103. I'm still trying to work on that call-in line so we won't have a delay. But I think it was a good fight. I think there was an off night. If it wasn't an off night, Lamont Roach simply gave him a good fight. He gave him a good fight. Now let's get our members up to the panel. First coming to the stage, we got Rich in the booth.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hold on, Rich. Let me get everybody up here. Next coming to the stage, you got Mr. Greg in the building. Next, coming to the stage, we got Paid in Full in the building. And we got my buddy VA Money Group. What up, VA? All right, Rich. Hold on. We got one more. We got Fly Frequency up on the panel today. What's going on, Fly Frequency? We got Fight Sports Talk coming up. What's up, Fight Sports Talk?
I'm doing good, Tuesdays. I'm having a call from my phone today. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great. All right, we're going to go through. We're going to let everybody get their 2 cents off. And listen, if I say, hey, you got to land the plane, go ahead and land your plane. We're only on here till 7 today. I want to give everybody the opportunity to talk and get their 2 cents off. Before we do that, let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. And then, Mr. Rich, I'm going to let you go. We got the New Orleans Nolans in the building today. I wonder if that's skill from New Orleans. We got Noble Young in the building. What up? Rich, what's going on? Lee Jackson in the building. VA Money Group in the building. All Things. What's up, All Things? Marshawn West in the building. We got Zach in the building. We got Dondrick Nim. What up, Dondrick Nim? Got Mr. Greg in the building. Mr. Boxing Fanatic. Supreme Cam. My homie Ty Drayford. What's up, Ty? Brian King Falcon. Shout out to Mr. Greg with the... Hold on. $2 in the super chat. He says, stay on all night. Shout out Mr. Greg for the $2 in the super chat. And I'm telling you now, it's going to take more than $2 in the super chat to get the 24-hour 2-cent marathon boxing talk. Let's see who else we got in the building. Fight Sports Talk in the building. J-Man. Dion. What's going on, Dion? Teach in the building. What up, Teach? My buddy 2 cents. What's going on, 2 cents? We got Big Bob Gun in the building. All right, Rich, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I just wanted to say, I told you this yesterday, man. I said, damn, this gonna be a good fight. We're gonna really see what Tank skills at. But second, I wanted to say, all these people keep talking about IQ. I told you he ain't got that much IQ over Shakur, because he would have knew where the fucking round was, and he making that excuse talking about that he ain't know what round it was. IQ gotta do with all that. That's one thing that y'all don't know. That's another thing. I know y'all gonna sit here and say, oh man, he got some haters, he got this, he got that, the other boxers hating on him. Shakur Ben called it. He called it 3 months ago. Shakur the one that be helping me win money when he be calling the fights. He been said Lamont Roach was a good fighter. He gonna tap his chin, and it's gonna be a real good fight. He gonna go up against a good, skillful person out of all the fighters that he ever went up against. But y'all was yesterday telling me that them other guys, Rolly and them, had skills. I ain't never heard of no shit like that.
Who said Rolly had skills?
Man, y'all was saying that all yesterday when I said, when I was arguing with all these guys on here, y'all was saying Tank was fighting people that were skillful. That's the reason why he was making adjustments. Nah, he was supposed to make adjustments with this guy, with somebody that's really skillful. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think he could beat Shakur, and I'm sticking to it. Like I said yesterday, I think Shakur would do him like he did Jamel Hearn for 12 rounds straight. And I'm going to say that again, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Mr. Greg, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Let me be quick, too. I got a lot to say, but I'm going to make it fast. First of all, congratulations to Lamont Roach. He exceeded everything that I thought he would be able to do. And that's what I like to see in a fighter, that they do more than you think they could. But this fight to me was a good example of when we say that fighting is 75% mental and 25% everything else. Tank, and I said this earlier, Tank had too many areas, too many times in the fight where he was falling apart just a little bit. He was combative with his trainer, which it shouldn't have been Barry Hunter, who is a good trainer. He was arguing with the ref. He's throwing his shoulder, so he was getting frustrated because that's where you're breaking down at. He didn't expect Lamont to really, they might know each other, but I don't think he expected Lamont to trade with him and to get the better of it at many times. So that's where I think he started breaking down. He started falling apart. Lamont had a good game plan. He stuck to it for the most part, and he never let Tank get into his head. But Tank was Lamont was getting to Tank. Uh, Again, all of it was psychological, and that's how Tank was. To me, Tank lost this fight. He lost the fight not because Lamont was faster or hit harder, but Lamont got into his head and did what he elevated himself. And Tank had, in my opinion, had gotten a little big headed, which he did. He got believing that he could do what he want. When he got hit, when he went down, he went down, took the little knee. It wasn't because it was a hard hit, but it still was a punch. And the grease that he explained that got in his eye from the braid was what got in his eye, but it got in his eye from the punch. And so you took a knee, and then you arrogant enough to think you can just jump up, have your trainer come up, wipe you down, and then gonna argue with the darn ref. And the ref foolishly trying to explain to him, when you take a knee, I'm supposed to give you an 8 count, and then don't do it. So you still continue to feel that you can do what you want, and Lamont wasn't letting you do what he want. And he started, like I said, having a little self-doubt here and there, and finding that you in the ring with somebody who don't care about who you are and as the superstar. And that's what you like to see fighters do who taking on somebody like a Tank, elevate themselves and show they belong in there. And again, to me, I think Rich probably had some good points as well. Tank lost this fight, but he lost the fight because of how he handled things mentally.
All right, Mr. Greg. Let's see who we got next. Paid in full. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
It's
Oh,
gonna be
hold
on
on. Shout out to Cash Crypto on the panel. Welcome to the panel.
But
All right, go ahead and pay in full. What's your 2 cents?
my bad. Oh, was salute to the panel, salute to everybody. Like I was saying last night, I think it was a good fight overall. I think Tank mentally lost it. I gotta agree with Mr. Greg on that one. I think he was more so too in tune into other shit than the fight. And when it came to, I feel like it's no excuse to not know what the round is. But then again, I just feel like whatever happened to the people that used to walk around the ring with holding up the signs, at least letting the fighters know what round it is. So it was a lot of issues with the corner that I saw as well. Um, it was just a bad night at the office. Shit, it happened. He'll be straight up. He just got to bounce back and get more focus. I'm not gonna criticize. I mean, I'm not gonna bash him. But yeah, I feel like it's a certain shit that he gotta go back to the drawing board and work on. And
Yep.
far as people saying that Lamont Roach fight needs to be next, I think that he already had a fight signed and ready. So I don't really think that fight was gonna happen. It should happen next, but like I don't think that's how that shit works. So
Yeah, he did say he do need to work on some things in the corner. And as far as the immediate rematch having to happen, I don't think that in an immediate rematch necessarily have to happen. I can see why people feel that way.
and
But
then it's another thing. What I'm about to say. 2 cent. When it came to Shakur, we wanted him to rematch De La Santos. That
He won
rematch
against
didn't
Della
happen right
Santos.
away. When it happened with Devin rematch and Loma, that rematch didn't happen right away. So, like I said, we gotta keep the same energy, man. Like for real.
Shakur
yeah.
won. That was a
Hold
draw.
on, Rich. Hold on. Shout
Nah,
out to
Shakur
T.
won.
Oh,
Nah,
Rich,
keep the
hold
same
on.
energy. Shakur
Rich, hold
won
on. The
and
panel not open
outboxing.
yet.
That
Rich,
ain't
the
the
panel
same
not
thing.
open
That ain't
yet.
nowhere near the same.
Rich, the panel not open yet. Shout out to Teach and Boxing Hacker on the panel. VA
Man,
Money
get your
Group. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show, VA
man,
Money
say
Group?
get your pennies out
Yo,
your jaw, man. Like damn, nigga, you acting like a bitch. Like stop crying so.
Relax.
Nigga,
Come
it's
on,
a
y'all.
fight.
Go ahead,
yo,
VA Money
Fuck
Group.
is you acting so fucking sensitive for?
yo, yo, yo,
I
yo,
don't know
yo,
these
yo,
fighters personally. Man, I'm
Come
about
on,
to
pay
get
in
off.
full.
I'm gonna holler at you 2 cent.
All right. Go ahead,
yo.
VA Money Group.
Yeah, so hey, yeah, like old boy said, like bad fights happen, man. You can't look spectacular every single fight. And this was like the Tank Davis's like his most skilled opponent. So if you can't knock him out, then in a boxing match, Lamont Roach is gonna look good. And he did look good and he won. I think he won. But yeah, I mean, this happens. But it's like the thing that's bothering me is that I'm seeing a lot of comments, people saying, "Oh, I never seen nothing crazier than this in boxing. This is the craziest thing I ever seen." It's like, dog, dudes get robbed every single week in boxing. And I'm talking about highway rob. Like I've seen ridiculous stuff. Like I've said it before when I was on this panel. The co-main event to Canelo, right, versus Ryder in Mexico City was a guy named Steve Sparks and versus Goyaz. Steve Sparks beat this guy's ass for like 6 or 7 rounds straight. He had him looking like the fight should have got stopped. Not only did the fight go to decision, but when it went to decision, they gave it to Goyaz, who was getting his ass whooped the whole fight. And that's not the worst part. The worst part is there's on the whole of YouTube, even you can Google it or YouTube it now. There's 4 or 5 content creators who made videos about it. Only 4 or 5 videos on YouTube about it, and none of those videos have more than like 1,000 views. So any kind of outrage about somebody getting robbed or something like that is fake. 90% of it, no disrespect to anybody in power, but 90% of the people you meet on the internet nowadays or YouTube, whatever, talking boxing with them, they're not even real boxing fans. They're here for the, let me get my voice out there and all this other stuff, all this other nonsense. But you can listen and tell from their opinions that they're not really boxing fans. They can only really talk about Shakur, Devin Haney, and Tank. And boxing is so much bigger than that. Like we've just seen a guy who should have been relevant the whole time come in and give Tank a tough fight. And half the internet was saying that he sucked. On your panel, on this panel, half of these guys on this panel have said that he sucked, that this fight is garbage. They've been saying that for 5 months. Coach Eddie, I'm going to call him out. Coach Eddie said this guy sucks. He's a bum. How does this? And D1 got on his ass. How is this guy a bum when he's a champion? You get what I'm saying? So that's stuff that needs to get cleaned out and cleared out. Guys need to start getting checked when they're disrespecting fighters, man. This was a good fight. When it first got announced, it was a good fight. And it was a good fight last night. Did he get robbed? Yes. Well, he's going to get a rematch. Is he worried about getting robbed? No, because he's going to get another payday. Who's he going to fight that's going to give him more money than Tank Davis? Nobody. So that's all I got.
Yeah, he wasn't even really too much tripping about the knee thing. He was just like, he wasn't really tripping about it. He's like, I mean, it is what it is. It's boxing, but I thought I won. Period. Shout out to Makai on the panel. Is that how you say your name? Makai, is that how you say
It's Micah.
Micah. All right, Micah. All right, Michael, welcome to the show. Hey, listen, if you're new in the building, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button. Be sure to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents in the chat. You can call in at 281-845-2103 since the panel is now full. Be sure to support the channel by dropping your monetarily support the channel by sending a Cash App or sending a super chat. I need to have 100 likes by the time we get up off of here, so make sure you punch that like and subscribe button. Next, we have Flyer Frequency. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Salute, y'all. I agree with you, 2 cents. I think it's crazy how, all of a sudden now everybody could beat Tank. I heard people talking about Loma could beat him and all of that, just because he had a bad night out, I don't think that means everybody beats him, I think we got a problem with that in the boxing space. Soon somebody look lackluster or whatever, or have a tough fight. Then all of us, even if they don't lose, then all of a sudden everybody else could beat them who, was opposing them or whatnot. I think the reason that the fight happened the way it was a few reasons, but the main 2 that I could think of is Tank gave Lamont Roach a lot more respect than he should have. I think he gave him too much respect, and Lamont Roach wasn't scared. I think that was a big part too, because, a lot of times we see these other fighters come in there, it's either one or 2 things. Either they're way too aggressive, like overly aggressive, or they scared, and when you too aggressive, you're going to run into something. And when you scared, Tank just going to walk you down. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be on the back foot all night. So I think because Lamont Roach didn't, he didn't fight scared, I think that's what made him have the success that he had. But I think Tank gave him too much respect. I think if Tank just, put his high guard up and came in and walked him down, I think Tank probably, and forced the action, I think Tank would have probably got him out of there.
Okay.
As far as the knee and all of that, I agree. You know what everybody's saying about the knee. If because it's not like he just took a knee when no action wasn't happening. He took a hook and then a jab, and then he took a knee. He took a knee. Like, it was like a delayed reaction. When Lamont Roach was walking up to him. So I think that should have been a standing 8 count, whatnot. So people saying Lamont Roach got robbed. I think it probably should have went his way. He probably should have won it. But hey, we see this happen all the time in boxing, man. It's a normal thing with the judges getting it wrong, referees making big mistakes, doing things that we know they not supposed to, and then they make up some kind of excuse of why they did it. But yeah, I don't think it's the end of everything. But I do think that Tank definitely need to fight him again uh, right away. Because think about it, if Shakur or one of these guys fight him and beat him, then it's gonna be more bad light shed on Tank. I think he need to go ahead and fight him again.
All right. Let me get Fight Sports Talk. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? Fight Sports Talk going once, going twice. All right, Cash Crypto. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Can you hear?
Oh, go ahead, Fight Sports Talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. Calling from my phone on this one.
Jumbo. Go ahead. Fight Sport Talk, you went out. Cash Crypto, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody got some all right good points. I always thought it was gonna be a good fight. That's why I try to tell people, don't just take what you heard about a Lamont Roach fight and then make your opinion about this fight. Go watch Lamont fight some fights. That way this dude got skills. But yeah, I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was gonna be a good fight. That's what I said until Tank got him out of there, and he didn't get him out of there. So what does that leave you with? It leaves you with a good fight. I mean, not everybody's gonna get knocked out. You're not gonna get a knockout every night. I don't think that. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of people leading them to believe that that means their favorite fighter can do it. But I mean, shit, we've been telling y'all, it's good. You're gonna have to sit and trade with Tank, and you're gonna have to take some chances in order to have success and beat this nigga. And that's what Lamont did. And if your favorite fighter don't fight like that against dangerous people, I mean, you could just throw that shit in the trash bucket. Yeah, that's my opening statement.
All right. And VA Money Group, we are talking about Tank Davis because his fight was yesterday. So the chances of us talking about any other fighter besides Haney, Shakur, and Tank is going to be highly unlikely today, VA Money Group.
No. So I put that in the chat because they're not talking about Tank Davis. They're like, the Shakur fight has to happen and this and that. And it's like, dog, Shakur's only one fighter. If he fights Shakur next, then what?
Right? That's what I mean. And you know what? I'm gonna let y'all get y'all 2 cents. But VA Money Group, that's always been my point. Like, even at the beginning of this, I'm like, if he got a 5-6 fight deal, and Shakur is his biggest fight, why you think he's gonna fight him this early in his deal? It just doesn't make sense for people to think that. But we got Teach in the building. Teach, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Salute to the panel. And salute to Jeff Spark as well. I'm happy VA brought that up. Yeah, he got robbed in Mexico. And actually me and him had a conversation on IG about that talk. So yeah, he was kind enough to, shed some words with me. Said that he retired, but yeah, good dude.
Hold on. Whoever is trying to get on the panel, call that number 281-845-2103. That's the call-in line, and you can call in and give your 2 cents for the show. Go ahead, Teach.
Yeah, I just want to speak about the external factors pretty much. Gregory mentioned everything that I was thinking about, about the fight. So like the external factors, again, Tank has to work on that. Meaning he has to get everything right before going into these fights. We know that there is issues. Again, Loma pulled out. They had issues with that. They had issues getting fighters. They had issues with scheduling from November to December to February to March. Learned that he had issues with I don't know if it's necessarily issues with the
I think you
trainers.
gotta turn your TV down in the background, Teach.
No, it's not mine. I don't have a TV on.
Oh, somebody got talking in the background. They got to mute. I heard some women talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much from those external factors, I think, Tank has to find ways to
I know how to pack up a lunch. Jesus Christ.
Cash, cash, cash.
Go ahead, Teach.
No, sorry.
Go
All
ahead,
right.
Teach.
Yeah, so pretty much I think, Tank has to deal with any external factors before he gets into these fights. So he could be 100% focused. And that's about it. But Mr. Greg mentioned everything that I wanted to say about the fight in general. And yeah, that's how
All
it
right.
goes.
All right,
Two
Boxing
cents.
Hacker.
2 cents. Can you hear me okay
Yo,
now?
Hold on. Let me finish going around. We're gonna come back to you, Fight Sports. Boxing Hacker, what's up? What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
2 cent. Hey, first of all, let's put this out here. For those of people who are saying that, oh, Turkey's cheating, Turkey cheats, blah blah blah. The type of cheating we saw last night was diabolical. That was some diabolical cheating. I have never seen in boxing somebody take a knee, the referee start counting, then the fighter tells the referee to stop counting. He walks to his corner, he cleans the sweat, I guess the fluid off his eye, and come back and fight, and they don't count it. I have never seen that in boxing. And you know
Bud
what?
got dropped.
And you know
Bud
what?
got
And guess
dropped. They
what?
didn't count it. Virgil Ortiz got
Hold
dropped. They
on,
didn't
y'all. Hold
count it.
on. Let him finish. Let Boxing Hacker finish. Let him dig himself in the
I'm talking
grave.
about someone taking a knee. And I get it. I have locks. When you box or whatever and your locks get in your hair, in your eye, that shit burn. That's a different type of burn. I get that. But what the hell? Why would you do your hair the day before? Why wouldn't you tie your hair back like all the other fighters do? You're supposed to tie your hair back. You're not supposed to do your hair. Like people know that's crazy work. And the fact that like even the post-fight press conference, Tank was like, "Oh, he didn't know that they count when they take a knee." Like, bro, Ryan Garcia took a knee and they counted. You saw that. I mean, it was just to me, it was like it was super cheating. It was low key cheating. And I think it should be questioned. Like, I feel like the ref should be questioned. And that ref, I forget his name. He's a very popular referee. I'm surprised that
Steve Wilkes.
Yeah. He should be questioned about that. Like, what if it wasn't a need? Then what was it? And if it was a need, why did you stop at 4 and didn't count the whole thing? As far as people talking that, oh, we told you Lamont Roach was going to cherry pick this and that. Hey, guess what? Lamont Roach showed up, and much respect to that brother. He won the champion. However, on paper, it is a cherry pick. It's just a cherry pick gone wrong. That's what, like, we can't change that fact. On paper, the stats for Tank Davis were way above Lamont Roach. Like, the betting odds were crazy for Lamont for Tank Davis. Like, on paper, there's no comparison. Exactly. Like it should have been an easy fight for Tank on paper. But at the end of the day, the brother showed up. Like I say, he fought magnificently. He fought well. He definitely won. If they gave him the 10-8, he definitely would have won that fight, of course. And people say that he didn't care about it. If you watch the post-fight press conference, he talks about it. He said, "Hey, he was asking the ref, why'd you stop counting for? The ref count all the way up to 4." And he said, "Why'd you stop counting?" So like he felt that way, but it's hard because at the end of the day, Tank's his peoples. You don't want to like shit on Tank. Tank gave him the opportunity. You don't want to shit on him, but it is what it is. And what's interesting about this situation is reminiscent of the amateur fights, because the amateur fights, something happened where like Tank won the first fight and Tank went to the nationals, but because of the discrepancy in the first fight, I forget what happened.
Nah, they was
Lamont
in
Roach
Baltimore. They was in Baltimore, and they
right,
ended up going back to the sanctioning body, and they ended up switching
again,
the fight over, and then they fought again,
exactly.
and Tank won.
They beat him, yeah, exactly. So sort of reminiscent where like Lamont was supposed to get like a nod somewhere and he didn't get it, and maybe in the rematch it'll end up the same way. Tank might win again, but it just goes to show you.
one final thing I want to point out. For those who said
land your
Tank
plane,
Davis
land
is
your plane.
for those who said Tank Davis is a pressure fighter, I hope you guys watch
I
very
said that
carefully.
yesterday, man. He not a pressure.
Hold
I
on,
hope
Rich.
you
It's not
guys
your
watch that
turn.
very
Hold on.
carefully and heard them.
All right, you done boxing hacker?
It's the lowest punch in
Two cents.
boxing.
Can you?
Ain't no
All right,
pressure
Mike.
fighter has the lowest punch in boxing.
You
Y'all
Two
get
breaking
it.
up,
cents. Can you hear
boxing
Anyway,
me?
I'm
Okay.
hacker.
out drop. I just want.
All
I got to
right.
drop right now, guys.
All right, Michael. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them dudes that was like, Roach don't stand a chance. I understand the amateur fights and stuff, and he kind of knows some of Tank's tendencies, but I didn't think it would be like that. I thought he was gonna make it a competitive fight until it wasn't. Just like Frank Martin made it a competitive fight until it wasn't. But what I seen was, Tank's a counterpuncher. Tank set you up, catch you. But it looked like Lamont Roach is too. It looked like, plus, he wasn't thirsty. Like a lot of them fighters get in there, Tank make them think that they doing something, and they start just going in like Ryan Garcia. He thought he was doing something, started just coming right at Tank, got knocked out. But yeah, I shoot. I tweeted at Lamont Roach. I owe him an apology because I was talking the biggest. I'm not even a Tank fan, but man, I didn't think that was gonna happen, man. My parlay is all messed up.
All right. Shout out Supreme Cam and NHA new to the panel.
2 cents.
All
Can
right.
you hear me okay now? Oh.
Yeah, hold on, Fight Sports. We're gonna come back around to you. Supreme Cam, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Kind of express the sentiments of basically the hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? Like people, I see a lot of people today talking about, you know what I'm saying, the cheating that went on last night. And me as a fan, you know what I'm saying, I can acknowledge that. I feel like he was supposed to lose that fight last night. Well, he basically he lost it in my eyes. And that knockdown was BS. Like that should have been called. But just like I'm calling this out today, I called out what happened to Adonis out the other during that fight. So it's more people talking about what happened last night than the week before, and I think we need to treat them both the same and get that out of boxing completely. Like if it's any cheating going on, we need to treat it the same and try to have our sport as pure as possible. Now, far as the Tank situation, me being a fan of Tank or whatever, it looked like last night, low key, he got exposed. All the stuff that we heard about Tank previously in sparring and how Tank get frustrated and start being kind of diabolical. We seen the low blows, the chin check to Lamont outlet. That was
Yeah.
that was very evident in that fight. So it made me believe a lot of what some people be saying. Now I'm gonna agree. I forgot who it was, Fly Cash or who it was. We can't just say he a bomb and all the top fighters now can just run through him. I ain't finna say that. I ain't finna sit here and say that. But I can say the stuff that was going on in the corner, him not being, he didn't look as just clean as he was supposed to be in there because he took Lamont lightly, as everybody did. Nobody can sit up here and say that they confidently.
Supreme Cam, you went away.
Shit, I could.
Supreme Cam, we can't hear you.
I bet on.
Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What was the last thing y'all heard?
We heard you say, what was the last thing y'all heard Supreme Cam say?
He said nobody can sit up there and say Lamont was what?
You can't take him lightly. You say you think Tank took him lightly.
Well, all I was saying there at the end, that was the last thing I said. Nobody can sit here and confidently say that they knew that's what was going to happen last night.
No, I bet on that
All
though.
right, NHA, what's
I
your
ain't gonna say I
2 cents?
confidently
What
It's
knew
you
it was
good
got
gonna
for the
happen
odds.
show?
though.
That's what you do doing a bet. You make bets like that. If you're a true bettor,
Yeah,
that's what you do.
I had a feeling that something was gonna happen like that though. But you right though. I was
NHA,
confidently though. You right.
For
NHA,
sure,
what's
for
your 2
sure, for
cents?
sure.
What you got?
Yeah, I agree with Cam just said, man. Some people can, you can bet on the underdog. That's natural. That's the way to go in your bet. But a lot of motherfuckers was expecting this. And as far as the performance, Jesus, what can I say? I mean, Roach deserved that rematch. I'm the one of the biggest Shakur fan, but I can't. There's no way I could, say Shakur should get that fight over a rematch. Tank definitely got to run it back with him. That man deserves that at the very least. And then on top of that, man, you got to show us if you that dude that motherfuckers really thought you was. Because as much as shit I talk about about Tank, I really thought he was one of the ones. I still think he is, man, because the shit he does in the ring, man, the footwork and his cat-like reflexes and shit, that shit ain't still, it's still there. But I think he was putting, what I'm saying, in deep waters. He just didn't know how to fucking swim. You know what I mean? Like Cam pointed out, we heard stories about him getting frustrated, putting motherfuckers in headlock and shit when sparring section ain't going his way and shit. That's something he's gonna have to. I don't know who's gonna help him with that, but you need to get somebody, you know what I'm saying, who really got his ears to help him overcome that mental instability and shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as because this ain't the sport, you know what I'm saying, to have those type of mental lapses and shit. But yeah, and the other thing too, I mean, to mention why I didn't agree was like, he's saying everybody just harping on this robbery and this and that and shit, and we was kind of ignoring the robbery from last week. Nah, that's false. Motherfuckers was just, pointing out, robberies happen in boxing. It's not like we were just missing that Thomas got robbed. He got robbed. But this shit right here is just blatant. And oh boy, he kind of like he let the cat out the bag, man. He got punched in his eye, motherfucker squinted, and then took a knee. And then he basically admitted, it's like, yo, I took a knee because I'd rather take a knee than get knocked out. That itself is a fucking knockdown. And you score that knockdown for Roach, it's a clear, decisive victory. There's no ifs, ands, and bothers. So I want nobody come up in here talking about, well, it was the draw, it was this and that. Nah, Roach won that fight. I'm not saying Roach better than Tank. I'm not saying Roach more skillful than Tank, but he won that fucking fight and run that shit back with him. That's all I got for now.
All right, all right, all right. We got Ty up on the panel. Hi, welcome to the panel, Ty. What's your 2 cents? What you got
What's
for the
up,
show?
everybody? What's going on?
What's your 2 cents, Ty?
Yeah.
What you got for the show?
Ugh. Um. I. I have to be. I am disappointed. I don't know what happened last night. Tank looked a little unfocused to me. I'm not really sure what that was all about, but he definitely looked unfocused. I don't know. Maybe there was too many chefs in the kitchen as far as the corner. Um, I'm really not sure. I hadn't had a chance to go back and watch it again today. I will. But just the knee and then the shoulder, but I'm not sure what was going on with him last night, but it was very lackluster. I feel like for all those people to have come all that way to see him, we deserve better, and we definitely need to see that rematch sooner rather than later. I need to know if this is just a bad day at the office, or if maybe Roach has his number. But I will go on and say, because I know Rich is very happy about last night, I will go on to still say this: I still don't think Shakur could beat him. I still don't think Devin could beat him, and I stand on that,
I ain't
even
that.
with last night being last night.
I don't, I
All
think
right,
that.
shout out. Hold on, Rich. Fight Sports Talk. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? And then the panel open.
Yeah, sorry for the mic issues earlier. The problem for me is not that Tank suddenly loses to Shakur or Devin or Loma or anybody. That those were all close fights before last night and now. And we've seen robberies before, so it's nothing new, and it happens everywhere. The problem for me is the rhetoric coming from Tank because of this. After people were talking about Adama's getting robbed against Shiraz, it's like, well, this just happened on your platform and you benefited. And I want to give a shout out to Ty. I'm not saying that Shakur, again, these guys, Tank underperformed, no question. And fighters can underperform. Everyone happened. I mean, Tyson Douglas being the best example. But for people like me who were picking Shakur to beat him, I wasn't expecting this, but it's a reason as to why, because the biggest thing for me, which really shocked me, is that from the first round, Tank Davis was backing up. He also looked unsure of himself. He wasn't he wasn't nearly as sharp as he was against Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia, two guys who can punch harder than Lamont Roach. And then when he was letting loose with his power shots, nothing was happening. So, yeah, it was a bad performance. Fighters can have bad performances, but whenever someone does have a bad performance, they get criticized. So everyone gets it, and Tank's getting it right now.
All right, the panel open.
All right, panel open. What y'all got? Hold on, let me get this super chat. Shout out to Big Dog Willie with the $2 in the super chat. He says Tank duck Devin for a reason. Tank defense garbage. Shout out Big Dog Willie. All right, panel open.
Nobody not saying.
I want to say that out of all the young boxers, I think that Devin Haney has the best chance to beat Tank. He had the best chance to beat Tank. Now he's probably going to welterweight, so I don't think they're going to fight. But like guys like Shakur, I don't think Shakur is going to be able to beat Tank. It'll be a good fight. I want to watch it.
I want to say Devin Haney stick his chin out there too much and Tank and knock his head off. But I think that Shakur and Tank still be a good fight. I think that, to me, I really had Tank up one round, and I really wanted to see that shit again before I say that Lamont Roach won the fight like fair. You know, I still think it was a draw because I had Tank up one round. That's what I wanted to say. I ain't got no hate towards Tank.
Yeah. I love Tank. And like I said, I thought Lamont was not going to win. But again, the way I look at fights, I always expect fighters to elevate when they're in a big fight. This was a big fight for Lamont. He did exactly what we should all expect every fighter to do in a big fight. Show us something different. Do something more than we expected. He did that. Tank has to. There's nothing wrong with Tank's skills. What was wrong, like I said, with Tank is that he had too many mental lapses. He fell apart in just small places, but that makes a big difference in whether or not you use your skills where you're supposed to. He was combative with his corner. So all of those things played a part in how he performed. Because again, you have to be mentally sharp as well as physically sharp. And he wasn't. And a fighter who comes and is prepared for you and gives you surprises like he did, the chances are you're going to beat that particular fighter. I do feel that Lamont won the fight. I mean, it wasn't no runaway, if you will, but every little thing played a role in how that fight played out, including the ref. That the ref should not have been a issue, but he was. So they're small, but they added up to what we saw last time. But what y'all saw with Tank, again, you saw a fighter who's good show where his weaknesses are. And it's basically it was mental weaknesses. He wasn't fast, he wasn't hitting. Also, Lamont was also making Tank do certain things as well and making him hesitant. I think somebody did speak on the fact that Tank had a few moments when he was doubting himself because he was going to the body, but he was getting countered. Again, this is what we like to see. And all of us who didn't think Lamont was going to win, hopefully everybody will say, hey, I'm sorry or whatever. I didn't expect it, but also be happy that you saw him perform like that because I want to see Lamont fight. I've seen him once or twice fight, but I definitely want to see him fight again. I do not think, however, that rematch is going to be immediate. I wish it would be, but you know his business people, both of the business of boxers now stepping in. Do we risk this happening to Tank again so soon?
Hey, can I say something, panel? I want to know. Let's just say Shakur do go over there to PBC. Do he have to get the knockout to win? I just want to know that.
So, Mr. Greg, I got a question.
Do
So,
he have to get the knockout to win?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, you got to put grease in Tank's eyes.
Go ahead, Ty. I was
I'm
listening
saying,
to you.
because he said if he go over to Turkey, he have to get the knockout to beat Devin. I want to know
I mean, it's crazy how
I
y'all
want to know
keep
if
wanting to
Shakur
act
go.
like this turkey thing is the same exact thing when it's not,
No,
y'all.
no, I'm just
We're
saying if
talking
Shakur.
about a whole completely foreign entity. You all the way overseas. It's like it's complete. The
I'm not
context
saying
of it is completely different.
I'm
So
not
y'all gotta
saying
stop
that.
that.
I'm saying if Shakur go over to PBC, do he have to get the knockout to win the fight? Or they gonna cheat him on the cards and make it a draw fight, or they just gonna say Tank
We
won?
don't know. We don't know. They
Yeah,
might.
that's
Well, I mean,
yeah.
we have
I
precedents right
mean, that's
now.
that's a dumbass question. I don't
That
Who
ain't
understand.
you
no
about
dumb
to say,
question.
I
Ty?
can't say that. I
Not
can't
done
say that
though.
because I'm
Well,
on both sides of saying that both like this look bad on PBC, same as it looked bad
Okay.
on Riyadh. See, that looked bad on PBC, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't say.
Yeah,
I don't know.
robberies look bad no matter
I'm
where they
saying don't be
happen.
biased.
Yeah,
That's
that
all
look
I'm
bad.
saying. Don't be biased.
Right.
No,
Who are
I'm
you
not
Nobody's
about
being
to
Cause
say,
y'all
biased,
Ty?
but
cause
it's
y'all know
still
y'all know what's
different.
going on. Y'all clearly see what happened yesterday. Y'all
Yeah.
know what's
we
going
agree
on.
with you.
No,
Hey,
nobody
Ty.
That's
disagreeing with you.
Ty. Ty.
yes.
What were you about to say, dear?
Hold on, let me
Oh
get
no,
this.
I was saying, why do you think that the rematch wouldn't be able to happen immediately? You were saying.
I think that
Ty, let me get these super chats. Mr.
okay,
Greg,
Okay.
I'll
hold
wait.
on. Big
Okay.
Dog Willie with the $2 in the super chat. He says Tank loses to Jamal Herring and Oscar Valdez. Facts. Shout out Big Dog Willie.
Crazy work.
And we got another super chat. Shout out to Miss
Shit
Barbara
is
D
nasty.
bullshit.
with the $2 in a super chat. It says 2 cents boxing. What happened with Leonard Ellaby? Shout out Miss Barbara D with the $2. And I don't know what happened with Leonard Ellaby.
It was
Miss
a
Barbara
lot
D.
going on.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, his
Tank
whole
has a
camp in a disarray.
lot going on. Like I think behind the scenes, he had a ton of things going on,
Oh man.
and he seemed extremely distracted. It is what it is.
Oh man.
That's no excuse. But I just think if I was to give my 2 cents and to be like, this is why the performance was bad. I think he fought somebody that was familiar with him. I think he fought somebody that was able to take his power in exchange with him. I think he tried to box too much early on, and I think that he got his corner got out coached. That's part of it. And also I think that he waited too late in that losing track of the rounds, which is a part of him being unfocused. I think that really kind of messed him up in the fight.
That's what IQ playing.
Yeah.
He ain't got no IQ, but y'all see he
That
had the
doesn't
best
mean he
IQ in
don't have
boxing.
no
I
IQ,
That
yeah.
Rick. That does not mean he
that
don't
mean
have
a
no
lot.
IQ.
I
That
mean,
mean a
That
He
does
lot.
do
not
got
mean he don't
IQ.
have no
that's
IQ,
just
Rick. Stop it.
that's just one of his faults right there because I done heard Tank in the corner say before what round is it, but that's another thing with the trainer thing. You got Barry instead of Calvin, and you got three different people trying to push what they believe you should do on there. So that's kind of where he fell short at right there
But
I feel
again.
like Kenny was telling him the right thing to do. He was telling him you got to get in there and throw them combos, let them combinations go and
yeah,
let your
I
hands
thought the
go.
same thing too.
And he wasn't listening. And Ty,
Yeah, he
to
wasn't
address,
listening, and that's why I'm so. I don't know what was going on with him last night. And please believe me, I am not giving his butt no excuses. You should have seen me in this house. I was cussing like a mug. I don't know what happened last night. Whatever happened, happened. But he definitely need to run that back because I got to see something.
The
yeah,
first
that's
four
what
Bro,
rounds, he
happened.
I
looked like
completely agree
Shakur.
with that.
hey,
The
They
listen.
first
need to
four,
do the
I
immediate
agree
rematch.
with you. That I'm
the
running it back, but the reason why I said I don't think that I don't think it'll be immediate because Tank is a cash cow, and they don't want to see a repeat. See, there's more than just him breaking down like he did last night. Something is going on in his camp because if you notice, he was combative with all of them, not just
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
So something is going on, and so that got to be straightened out, and that takes a while too. I like.
Nah, but you know the other thing though. I said this the other day. I said he don't really care about what we expect him to fight. You heard what he said. He said the person came in this locker room. That's who he's supposed to fight. Only people that was there that you could think that he's supposed to fight next is Pitbull and Jake Paul. He looking for money fights. He not caring about legacy right now. He looking for
But,
big money fights,
but
and
he's
he
not
already.
going to keep getting those big money fights, Rich, as he keeps having failures like
Yeah, hell yeah. But this only
That's what
time
I'm
that he.
saying. That's why I said if he don't run it back, he can say he wants the money all he wants to. You're getting our money because it appears to us, which I feel in my soul is correct, that you really like that. But you're gonna have to show me that you want me to keep paying $80 to see your ass fight. Because last night, I'm sorry, baby, that was
I
not worth
agree.
I think
yeah,
he's gonna run it back. I just don't think it's gonna be immediate though.
But
yeah.
you
That's the
Well,
gotta
here's
only
the
understand.
thing.
You
here's
gotta
the
I actually,
problem. Here's the
I need to
problem.
be ASAP.
he
Hold
He
on,
ain't
already
y'all.
got
running
Hold
out.
back with
on.
Roach.
Hold on,
You
y'all. Let me
gotta
get these
give, you
super
gotta give it to
chats.
Kerr.
Shout out to Dion with the 4.99 in the super chat. He says, "No excuse. There is a such thing as a mental nerf." He was speaking of retirement even before the fight. Roach even told Tank, "You better be focused." Shout out
Yeah.
Dion.
Hey, but
Facts.
you know.
Hold on, I got
Damn,
another super
what I was
chat.
gonna say.
Hold on, I got another super chat.
Okay.
Shout out to the New Orleans Nolans with the
Nolan.
$5 in the super chat. He says Tank versus Kerr isn't as big as it was 2 days ago, based on Tank showing high level of vulnerability. That's cap. But shout out to New Orleans Nolans with the $5.
It's even
Nah,
bigger
but
now because
let's get
I
let's get this
disagree, bro. I
let's get this
disagree.
let's get this understood. This only Tank first fight that we seen him vulnerable, like all
Thank
them other
you.
fights, all them other fights. So when you say you're not paying for this and he doing this, he doing that, this only the first fight. And he got outboxed, but I gotta look at the fight again before I say he lost. I gotta really look at that fight again. Like I ain't watch it over.
Yeah, pay attention to the nuances during each
I
round,
ain't,
and where you see that he seems to doubt himself for a moment, where you
yeah,
see
but
that he does things that he shouldn't even be doing, and he knows he shouldn't. It was his combativeness with the officials that really
Yeah, I didn't like
was
that. I didn't like him
yeah,
talking to
you
Calvin like
you're
that.
fussing
Hey,
with your corner, you're fussing with the ref, you're looking for the ref to protect you in certain points. Those are all, like I said, the mental lapses where you start falling apart because the guy you
right,
fighting is
right,
doing much more than you thought he was going to do, and you
right,
weren't maybe psychologically prepared for that. But you should always be prepared for that. You
right.
should expect that,
hey,
as a
Ty.
matter of
Ty,
fact.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Hold on, let me get this super chat. Shout out to Big Dog Willie once again, back in the super chat with the $2. He says Tank loses to Pitbull in a container of hair grease. Shout out Big Dog Willie.
No
Yeah,
bull.
this is for Ty, but it's also for really the whole panel because this was
All right,
my
Fight Sports
biggest.
Talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is for Ty, but also everyone on the panel because my biggest takeaway from the event was, well, if the rematch doesn't happen next, is Tank Davis, or actually rematch or no rematch, is Tank Davis serious about retiring soon? Because if so, this could be what he's remembered for. And it's not nothing against him, but you're only as good as your last fight. So, do you guys agree that Tank might actually be looking at retirement? Because if so, then fine, he retires. But this could be what he's remembered for, getting away with one against a guy who wasn't expected to be much of a
Well,
challenge.
he said he's not retiring. He said no, he's not looking for retirement. It just changed his plans, and now he got
Yeah,
another
and
fight
and
he
and,
has to
and
do. Hold on, Rich, and
okay,
now he
okay.
has another fight he has to do. So he's gonna
I
do
hear you.
like 3 or 4 more fights before he
Hey,
actually
the type
retires.
of
But I
person, the
think the
type.
fact that the fact that
Okay,
he
go.
was even speaking on his retirement or not even retiring, just really taking a break, like that kind of let you know the mental headspace he was in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jim
and
Lampley said, sorry.
I think the type of mentality he have and where he come from and the type of person he is, he's not gonna just go like that. He ain't gonna just leave off a draw fight. That shouldn't even be in your mind that he gonna retire for a draw fight. I don't think so. I think he's still gonna go back in there and fight some more people, and he gonna definitely rematch Roach. I don't think right
Yeah.
now, but he definitely gonna get that out of his way. Just the mentality, yeah. Nah,
You just
Yeah, I
need
think he's
nah.
gonna rematch Roach, and everybody crying for the immediate rematch. Cause y'all got to think about it. It's business. He probably had his next 2 fights lined up. You get what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
not you could just let me snap my finger. No, it does. It just doesn't simply
Looking
work like
past
that.
Roach. That was
So
maybe one of his problems, looking past him.
I mean, it's
But
not
Well,
even that. Maybe
we got to
because
put the pressure on the business
they
then.
hold on. I'm sure they have a rematch clause, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen like right away. They may move stuff around. They may do it right away. I don't know, but I feel like it's just gonna be another thing. People gonna be like, "Oh, why don't you rematch Roach?" But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Well, he
sure
needs to
they're
give him
going
that
to
rematch.
rematch him. They're
But it
Well,
definitely
showed,
going
I'll
to
but
just
rematch.
but it
I'll just
showed
throw
how
this out.
it showed
Uh,
how many times we've been talking and all this stuff that he never had no type of plans to fighting the top 5 in the 135 because he
You
already
can't
said the
say
person
But
that.
why
came
do
to.
you say that? Like, why does
I'm
this
saying,
fight make you
wait,
think that?
wait. I'm saying the next fight. He already had a fight lined up for the next fight. They asked him, did Shakur go in his locker room? He said no. So he was obviously talking about fighting Jake Paul or Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't trying to
Pitbull
fight
ain't going to his
nobody.
locker room.
Huh? Who
Pitbull
was
ain't
in?
going to his locker room.
And that's what I'm saying. He wasn't even expecting to fight no Shakur, Keyshawn. So all this talking that we've been doing, oh, these people ducking this and third.
But
He
why do
already
you
had.
think that
He already had.
Shakur and Keyshawn don't have their own plans already, Rich?
I'm not.
Tank
Listen.
not the
Okay.
only one with his
Wait.
fights already
Okay.
planned out.
Okay. I apologize on that. They might have their own plans too. But what I'm saying to you is all this talking that we talk about this, that, and the third, these people ducking all that stuff. This guy already had his fights lined up, and he admitted it. He actually said, yeah, the person came in my back room, and yeah, y'all gonna hear about it next. And I really think
But
it's gonna be Jake Paul.
but let's see
it's
who
And
not
he,
going to
who it
be.
is before we
He's
really
not
judge.
fighting Jake. He's
Jake
not
Paul
fighting
is
Jake Paul.
huge,
We need.
bro.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Can I just throw this out there to play devil's advocate because again, fighters have bad performances all the time, and I'm a critic of Tank as much as I am of any fighter. But if he doesn't rematch Roach immediately, I'm disappointed because I want to see the immediate rematch. But he won't be the only fighter to high profile fighter to not rematch a guy who an underdog who arguably beat him. I mean, Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou, that was a far worse performance than this, in my opinion. Just
man, you
because,
talking about Francis Ngannou and
But it
Tyson
yeah,
happened
Fury?
though. A
but I'm,
non-boxer.
but hold on, just
Yeah,
gonna
but
Yeah,
say,
that's even
hold on,
worse. Is
hold
the
on,
point he's making? This is
hold on.
even worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ngannou wasn't a boxer, and I mean, he lost that fight. Tyson Fury won it, but Fury looked awful that night. And there was no rematch. So I'm not going to hold it against Tank if there is no rematch immediately. Although I
Tank
would
ain't
like to see
Tyson
it.
Fury.
But sorry, just to finish the point, just to play devil's
Two
advocate,
different
the
nationalities,
problem
two
again,
different people.
what?
And we
What does
got
nationality have to do with it?
it's two
It
different
do
breeds. Not trying to be funny. It's two
he's speaking
different
he's speaking
breed
facts.
of type of guys. It's two different breeds. It's two different
Oh,
breeds.
Nah, bro,
but
that's that double
that
standard Tank
that's
No,
stuff y'all be
I
doing.
mean, it
that's
I'm
not
happened though.
not.
the
Now
I'm
that's
with
not
not.
the
the
Hey,
point I
African
was.
American
listen.
fighters, if they
I
lose they old bro, it's about over with for
Hold
them.
on,
Let's be
that's
real.
not, guys. That's not the point I was making. That's not the
yeah.
point I was making.
Don't.
I don't know how
I ain't gonna never
nationality
put
came
that on
into
no
it.
Tank, man.
I was just saying, I was just saying that Tank, because people want to see the other champions, and okay, he's got his next fight lined up. The, what I wanted to say to play devil's advocate is, could he be looking to fight another champion from 130 or 140 maybe? Because if so, then he fights another top fighter. It's just not at the 135 division.
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Lamont
when
Roach
we got
not
to
a
put the
why is
pressure on
Lamont
him.
Roach not a top fighter? He's a champion. He came up. He gave Tank a good fight. Y'all still don't want to say he's like a top fighter. He's still a what?
Man, I
Because
always
Tank
thought that.
didn't fight that bad, guys. Like y'all act like Tank. He had a bad performance because it's not A plus like we used to seeing it.
Nah, he felt he
He just had
just
a
was like
meltdown
one
second half of the
dimensional.
fight.
He was one dimensional the whole fight. He ain't make no adjustments for real.
It
Not
was
at
just a
all.
bad performance, which fighters do have, but everyone gets criticized for it.
Man,
And
he did everything we criticized Shakur for. He
the
was bored
Yeah,
in the
criticism
nah,
first
is
nah.
two
See the
rounds. He was
but
bored in the first two rounds. He was running for a little
First two,
second there, and then he
he's
got
running a
boomed at the
lot.
end of the fight.
Shakur
But
ran
I
around and
don't
Tank
like to
took a
call it
knee.
running, man. But he was on the back foot a whole lot throughout the fight. So
No, I'm talking
it's
about
like,
when
and I
he
was and
did
I was
that side
calm.
to side, kind of like he was doing a football juke. He was definitely running, bro. He was, and that's when I was like, bro, why are you playing around? Stop, chill out, bro.
Yeah, he
Like,
was
you know
bullshitting.
what I'm saying? Do your thing. But he never got his headspace together. And then, yeah,
And you
back
got to
after the fight,
wonder
he
why
melted.
that happened. You got to wonder why he couldn't get his headspace. That's why I said there's something going on beyond just what we saw. We
Yeah, I
saw
agree with
we
Greg.
saw
Something ain't
glimpses
right.
of it in his corner. I
Yeah.
I think
mean,
it was that, yeah, that along with the key things we said it take the beat Tank skill and you gotta be able to trade with him a little bit here and there and your power. And Lamont definitely made him step back a couple times. I
yeah.
almost dropped him.
Right, right.
So
Hey,
you
then the
know,
Yeah.
Calvin said something in the corner like, don't talk to me, talk to him. He said something.
yeah,
Y'all didn't see that?
He's like,
yeah,
nah, that
He
would
said,
be wild if
nah,
he actually did that.
yeah, the interaction
nah.
with his corner is
He
really
said
bad.
something. He said, listen to him.
Yeah,
He said
yeah, I heard what you're saying, Rich. That the
it was something he
interaction.
said, but I don't know, man. I
He was
probably.
telling them to be quiet. Calvin said, y'all need to listen to me. I'm sorry. Barry would say you need to listen to me.
That's
So it was a whole bunch of that going on. And I suspect it was probably going on during training. And
Hold on,
probably
y'all. Let me get this super chat. Shout out to Big Dog Willie, huge supporter in the channel. Back in the super chat with the
he's funny.
$2. He says Tank will lose a rematch against Rolly. Pure facts. Shout out Big Dog Willie.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know how Tank's going to look after this because again, this is the first time he's had a real bad performance. Like the Pitbull fight, it wasn't even that bad. It was just a awkward style matchup. Here, I mean, if it was just Lamont Roach knows him from sparring, then or they fought in the amateurs, then Tank could look fine in his next fight, and we forget about this. But it's just as of right now, everyone's got questions, as they do when any top fighter has a bad performance.
Hey, you
All
can't
right,
but
shout out to
keep.
Tony Reviews on the panel.
Okay.
Man, he about to talk his shit.
All right,
Tony
T.
Reviews, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the
Come
show?
on, T.
Well, I have changed
What
my
up, Tony?
name. You can't read it, but it says Tony's Eye Test. There it is, right there. You can read my new name. It's gonna be Tony's Eye Test. Because Tank Davis did so great on that eye test. Not only did he do great on the eye test, but he was blinded by grease in his eye. He took a knee. We never seen that before. So there was all types of eye tests going on last night in the fight. He was getting popped in his eye more than he's ever been popped in his eye before. He stumbled 3 times, wobbled from being popped in his eye by a guy who was smaller, moving up in weight. So at the end of the day, this is what I say. And this is what I've always been saying about Tank Davis. When you constantly fight low opposition, eventually you become low opposition. There's nobody going to convince me.
Wow, I like
There's,
that.
there's nobody who's going to convince me that Lamont Roach could get in the ring and do anything with Lil Kiki or Shakur Stevenson, let alone a Devin Haney or any of the other guys. Like
I think
the
you do
bottom
something with
line
Devin Haney.
is, like I said, you don't have to beat Tank. All you got to do is just hit him and stay away. Lamont Roach had him backing up all night. Tank was scared to come in, and whenever he went wild, he was getting wobbled. So at the end of the day, I had it Lamont Roach winning due to the knee that he took. But I will say this. Had he not taken the knee, I would have had a draw. I would have had it 6 rounds to 6 rounds. But I cannot overlook the eye test of the knee that he took in the ring. So at the end of the day, I felt like it should not have been a draw. Lamont should have been a champion, and Tank should have his first L.
So you're telling me,
Dang.
see, because this is the thing I hear a lot of people saying. They're saying, "Oh no, I think Tank can. This person can do this and that." Them other fighters aren't fighting or had the attributes that Lamont Roach had or displayed in their ring. I guarantee you, Devin Haney is not finna stand there and trade and counter Tank like that. He's not doing that.
So
Neither
2
is Shakur
cents.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Respectfully, and then I'm gonna let everybody else have it so I don't hog it. Respectfully, I disagree. We've already seen Lamont Roach get dog walked by Herring,
He
and we
did
saw
not
what
get
get
Shakur.
dog.
dog
He
He
walked
did
by
did
get
get
dog
Harry,
walk.
dog
Nah,
bro.
he
walked.
didn't get
It
Stop
was
dog
it.
not
walk.
a close
Nah,
fight.
Stop
no, he
it,
didn't.
bro.
Stop.
Stop
Nah,
it.
I'm gonna
Stop.
disagree on that.
Stop.
I'm
Stop.
gonna disagree on
Come
that one.
on,
Listen
come
to
on.
me.
You're being a bit
I'm gonna
Listen to me,
disagree
guys.
on
hyperbolic,
that
bro.
Oh,
one.
You're
Tony
being
Listen
a
to
bit
me,
cooking.
guys.
Tony
hyperbolic, bro.
cooking.
Listen. I understand that this is a session and y'all are all sitting on the couch and y'all are just letting y'all's emotions out about y'all can't believe what happened with Tank last night. But here's the fact of the matter. He got dog walked by Herring, and we saw what Shakur did to Herring. And I'm not using a triangle theory. I'm saying there's levels. Herring didn't even look like he belonged in a ring with Shakur. It wasn't even competitive. He should have not even shown up. He should have just handed Shakur the belt. That's the competition level it was. So at the end of the day, levels have been shown. I don't think Lamont's that guy, and we'll see. Oh, look at Miss Ariana Grande in the chat. My favorite fans back. But we'll see how good Roach does going forward. I don't think he could beat anybody at 135. I think the only guy he can beat is Tank, and he did it.
Hey,
So
If I could
you think very
piggyback
little
off
of
what
him
Tony,
then,
right.
Tony?
Hey,
if I
that
could
Hearn,
Tony.
I want to say something, right? That Hearn fight, I think he lost, but he ain't get dog walked, like, to the point you be like, damn, this nigga got his ass beat on. Nah, it was just a loss.
Hey,
Simply could have been a rematch, and stuff could have happened different.
but
So
see,
I ain't going
Tony,
to put that on him.
well, I'll
your
piggyback
Fight
off
could
what
have
analogy,
went
Tony.
either
your
way.
analogy, Tony,
Yeah,
you
I
don't
don't know
take
what he
People
mean
get
by
emotional
dog
in that
walk.
fight.
I don't
yeah,
use words like that when a person
He
win.
just being dramatic. He
yeah.
just
Well,
being.
Tony,
can I
when you
piggyback off what Tony said? There's, yeah, when you're used to having things your own way, these things happen. But even when you're not used to having things your own way, there are bad performances. Again, Tyson Douglas, Andrade had his bell rung by Liam Williams, the guy who should have never been able to touch him. So these things, I mean, Canelo against Triple G in the third fight. Triple G didn't show up, but Canelo didn't look good. So these things happen. The question is, why did he underperform? Was it because Roach knows him? Was it because he got too comfortable? Is it because he actually is looking at retirement? It's
Right.
all kinds of questions, and we don't know the answers yet. But yeah, it is what it
I,
is. These things happen.
And Tony, Roach fought Heron like 5-6 years ago, bro.
and 19. But what I want to say is this, though. Even though he sparred him and fought him numerous of times, you still got to feel that power. Like, just because
And
you
the power
spar
didn't
somebody,
affect him.
that's what I'm saying. So that don't mean that they was fighting with different ounce gloves on and all that stuff. So you can't sit there and say, oh, Lamont Roach did this because he knew him and all that stuff. Nah, they both, this their first time fighting as grown men. They 29 years old, 30 years old. Last time they fought each other was in their teens. So you can't put them, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing at all.
Here's what I bet you Tank is not gonna fight nobody else. He gonna fight another cat. Y'all gonna come up with a defense team for him like the NFL. Y'all gonna block hard for this guy. And then he probably fight Roach next year after fighting two people he shouldn't be in the ring with, and he's never gonna fight none of the other fighters, none of the other big names. It's just
I
gonna be
think,
rinse and
yeah,
repeat. It's just gonna be
yeah,
rinse and repeat, and then y'all are gonna keep running block for him.
yeah.
but
And I
Tony,
also,
you're
and I
not
also,
giving
and I
Tony,
also
you're not
think,
giving Lamont any credit for stepping up in the way that he did, and that will happen also. Just because Tank failed miserably to me mentally doesn't mean it wasn't also because of Lamont. And also, Lamont stepped up. So you got to give fighters who come in aren't given a chance of winning to show a dimension to them that you didn't even know was there. So when you say Lamont, well, I got the impression you were saying Lamont should have beat Tank or was going to beat Tank. You don't give him enough credit to what he's capable of doing because he can
No,
fight
because
again. And if I'm wrong, definitely you'll tell me. But you have to give fighters the benefit that they will come in on that night of their biggest fight and do what Lamont did. He didn't just come in and just barely get by. He came in and he threw down with somebody who was supposed to destroy him in the ring. And he also made Tank have mental breakdowns as well. It wasn't just his corner. Lamont was doing things that Tank was not expecting him to do, and he wasn't prepared for it. And he could do the same thing when he fights somebody else who's supposed to be of note. He could go in and do like I didn't expect him to do that, like we're saying right now. So you got to give that fighter a credit for his ability to do that.
I agree. I give him credit for beating Tank Davis like he deserved the win. I give him credit for beating Tank. But what I'm not going to give Lamont Roach
he
credit
ain't beat him.
for, hold on. He did beat him. It was a gifted
It
draw,
was a
but
draw. Yeah, yeah, it was a draw.
okay. So, Rich, if he didn't beat him, name me in the history of boxing when a fighter takes a knee in the ring, it doesn't count as a knockdown.
Hey man, you got the wrong guy, man. I think Shakur beat Tank, man. You better ask
No,
one
no,
of these
no, no, no,
Tank
no. I don't
fans.
care about who beats
We ain't
who. I
talking
don't
about that
care.
brittle hand nigga.
I
I'm
don't
saying,
care.
I'm saying,
No,
I'm
no,
saying,
listen to
I'm
me,
saying,
listen to me,
I agree. I
Rich.
agree
Hold
with
on.
you.
Hold on,
Hey,
y'all.
listen.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got somebody new to the panel. Shout out double.
Wait, hold on. Hey, look, I
How we
agree
doing?
with
How
you.
we
Hold on. We
doing?
got somebody else new to the panel. Shout out Dudley.
hey,
All right, Rich,
hey,
land your plane so I can let
oh,
double and Dondry
okay.
and them get their 2 cents off.
Hey, Tony, I agree with everything you said, but I don't participate in lies. You get what I'm saying? I agree with everything you saying, but some stuff
Well,
you saying is not is lying. You
but
telling
it's not a
fib. You know what
lie.
I'm
He
saying?
lost that fight.
Yeah, he lost. No, it was a draw fight. In your
So,
eyes, he lost
Rich,
a
just
fight.
hear me out. Hear me out, and we'll
In
land so
your
y'all.
eyes, he lost a fight. It's a
Rich, just
draw
hear me
fight.
here. Just hear me out real fast, and I'll tell you why he lost and how he lost, and exactly how he did lose in reality.
Yeah,
Okay,
but you not the
just hear this.
score.
No, no,
You
no.
not the
Listen to me.
scorecards.
Listen to me. Yes, I'm gonna go by the scorecards. On two of the
You
scorecards,
not the judges.
listen to me, Rich. Please listen to me and don't
All right,
cut me
go ahead.
off. On two of the scorecards, the judges had it 114 to 114, which is a draw.
Right.
However, only in the history of boxing have we ever seen Tank get allowed to take a knee and it not be a deduction of points. Had the actual rules applied, he would have lost on the two draw scorecards. He lost the fight.
All right, and I think the same thing. I think that when he took a knee, right? I think it was a knockdown. So we both saying the same thing. I'm just saying that he didn't lose. It was a draw fight. Whether you like it or not, it was draw. It was a draw.
All right, let me get this double. Welcome to the show. This is my first time seeing you. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, how you all doing? Salute
How
to
you
the
doing?
panel. Um, I think, and when I was on KO's platform, I told everybody if Tank was to lose his O, then everybody would fight him. I think, when I look back and I watched that fight yesterday, Tank, he seemed distracted. You had all these distractions going on. Well, here's my take. What if he planned that? Not to technically just outright lose the fight. Well, he wasn't fighting like his usual sharp self. He wasn't throwing punches. He didn't around the sixth round. He amped it up, but he didn't amp it up like I've never seen Tank fight like that. So my thing is, and this is, I'm not putting no excuses because a loss is a loss or a draw, however you want to loss it. However you want to see it, that's not a good look. But then again, maybe it is a good look. So now everybody think that because he been fighting Lamont since they were kids that they can do what Lamont did. It's not too many fighters that you fight that you have been fighting for years that you come across. So even though he might not have looked good against Lamont, what if they fight again and he actually turn it up? Because when can y'all ever remember Tank fighting like that? Like he was bored. I think what I really think is going on, he's trying to amp it up. And it's just like when he dropped that thing when he fake retired. I think this is all publicity. Is Tank really that good? I don't know, but I know one thing. I ain't never seen him fight like that. And we really won't know until he fight Lamont again. But far as everybody else, I don't think he's gonna fight like that. Definitely not against Haney or Shakur or anybody else because him and Lamont seem to be real cool. I ain't never seen Tank give somebody dap in a fight. I've seen a lot of stuff that I've never seen before. I don't know if anybody else paid attention to that, but that's my
I
two
saw
cents
that.
on it.
All right, Dondry and them. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, how y'all doing? Yo, I'm on my way home from work. Well, I just want to be sure. To me, I had it a draw, but I think if the knockdown, he would have lost. But I ain't with all that. Oh, he's not as good as you people say he is. All these other people can beat him. No, that's why we the worst era of boxing fans. Because when the four kings were fighting each other,
they were all whooping each other's ass. So now that he takes a loss to somebody, okay, that's fine. But all the other fights still got to get made, like so we can see who's better. Like you can't keep saying, "Oh, he going to do Devin Haney will do this," but then Ryan Garcia whooped his ass. You see, the triangle theory don't work no more. Oh, Jamel Herring, it doesn't matter. Some people just got your number. It's just going to happen like that. And to me, yeah, Tank, that was probably the worst performance I've ever seen him have. But you know what? That's on him. Now it's for him to get back in the gym and prove to us that he's who he say he is. If he's not, then he ain't. But that's cool. But we gotta see it. We can't keep making up all this stuff like, oh, he's not who he is just because of one performance. That don't make sense to me. That's my two
Can I get
cents.
in
Well,
here real quick? Can I get in here real
let me
quick?
let
I got to
me
respond.
hold on. Let me
Tables
say
have
something
turned.
real quick because that's interesting. Nandrick them said something interesting. He said so we could see who he say he is, and I'm like, damn, he been fighting all this time, and we're still questioning if he is who he say he is, or is it he's not who he say he is, or he's no
At the
longer who he was? Because
No,
turn.
like
more
how
no,
long he gotta fight to
But
be who he say he is? Like how long
nah,
is that?
like
Like
he
he's
said,
he's
this,
literally the
this, this,
star of hold on, y'all killed me off. He's literally the biggest American star we have in boxing right now. And so like he's still I don't think he's at the phase where he's still proving who he's quote unquote who he say he is. I think he's just at the point now to where he needs to fight the fights that people believe he can't win. And
Lamont
that's what
Roach is
people
in.
yeah,
need
yeah,
to
that's what I was saying.
The
I was saying,
problem
okay,
is there's nothing wrong. Like, okay, let me give
hold
you an
on. We got a new
example.
person on the panel. Shout out Big Dog Willie.
I gotta say,
Hold on,
have
Big
the
Dog Willie.
tables
What's your
have
two
turned?
cents? What you got for the show?
Oh yeah. Have the tables have turned? All last week, I heard a bunch of tanking maniacs like you all on the panel saying that Shakur can't do this, Shakur can't do that, and now one little night where all these excuses come out, Tank was confused. Tank wasn't had his head in it. This grief was in his eyes. That shit didn't count. He didn't really take to me. Nah, you guys are getting this fucking work. I don't want to hear none of it from you guys.
I
You
love
guys
how
sat
y'all
there and
compare
nope,
Lamont
Ty,
with
nope, nope,
McGregor.
nope, nope, Ty, nope. Let it go. No, let me talk. Let me finish. Nah. You're catching this. All last week, yo, talking shit. I'm talking shit all the way up until Wednesday. I'm a Catholic. Lent is on Wednesday, and I can't talk after Lent. But until 12 o'clock Tuesday, after Fat Tuesday, you got to give me all this work. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, all
Hey,
I
right.
want to say this. There's nothing wrong with a fighter. Look, there's nothing wrong with Tank Davis losing to a fighter like Shakur, or Shakur losing to what we think or thought Tank was. There's nothing wrong with an elite losing to an elite. There is something wrong when you're supposed to be the elite of boxing and a dude who's not even the best fighter in his own weight class beats you. There's a big
He
issue
got
with
us.
that.
He's a
Lamont,
champion in his weight
hold on, two
class. What are
things.
you talking
If
about?
who's
Lamont
the
Roach
best at
isn't even the
130? You
best.
don't even know who's the
Lamont
best
Roach
at
isn't even the
130.
best at
What are you talking
130.
about? You saying
Lamont
all
Lamar,
Roach
bunch
is
of
hey,
not the best at
hey,
nonsense.
130.
hey,
He's
I'm gonna
nowhere
hit it.
near the best at
Hey,
130.
I'm gonna hit it what
Who
Leonard
is?
Ellaby. I'm gonna hit it what Leonard Ellaby said, man. He said just
Okay,
because
first
Lamar
off,
Lamont Roach ain't had that much exposure, he ain't in all the PBCs and the Golden Boys and all that stuff,
mhm.
and he ain't get exposure. That don't mean he's not a good fighter, man. Like, come on,
Okay,
man.
well, we'll see how
Come
good he
on,
is when
dog.
he
You
fights
just be saying
Foster.
stuff.
Let's see how he does against Oshaki. Let's see how he does against
Man, he'll beat
Navarrete.
Ashaki,
Let's
and
see
I'm
how good he
betting on
does
that.
against
I bet on
Conseil.
that. I bet on that.
Marshall.
But
I
guess
bet
what,
he beat
Tony?
Ashaki.
Because here's the fact of the
I bet he
matter.
beat on
Here's the
Ashaki.
fact of the matter.
That
If
man been fighting
Lamont,
since he was a kid,
look,
man.
all we can do is speak hypothetically until it happens. But if Lamont goes in there and gets dusted off by the other 130-pound champions, guess what? He wasn't that good. He just looked good against Tank. Tank might not be as good as y'all think he is. Maybe there's a reason why Tank keeps going to 130 to fight fighters. Maybe there's a reason why Tank Davis has never fought a number one ranked fighter in his own weight class.
Right.
There
Hey,
could be
look,
a
hey, look.
reason.
Hey, can I say something? Maybe it's the reason why Shakur, Keyshawn, Tank all already gave Lamont Roach his respect before he even fought Tank. Maybe it's the reason why. That's all you need to know. Other fighters know other fighters, man. You
Bro,
you
yeah,
talking, you outside looking in. That's what you doing.
y'all
It seemed, it
glazing.
That
But
sound
man,
the
like some
point of the
hated shit.
matter
I ain't
is,
gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It just sound like you just came up here to
Hey, but
hate,
Rich
bro.
ain't
Like,
even a Tank fan like that. Rich is
like,
just the core dude, and he up here like, come on, Tony,
like
like,
it's straight up hate,
come
bro.
on, you
It's not
can't
even
do Roach
like
like that, bro.
Because all this
Hold on,
been
hold on.
happening.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear none of y'all Tank fans talking about this kumbaya. Oh, we the worst sports fans
Why y'all
in
think
the
y'all can come
world.
up
Baba
here and tell
Sanat.
people what they finna say? That's weird.
Nah, man, because y'all was shitting off Shakur all last week off a win,
the
a
performance
knockout
was
win.
still
We can
lackluster.
still
It
shit on
doesn't
him. What are you
matter.
Motherfucker,
talking
he
about?
won. And
This
y'all
was
sitting
It
here
several
doesn't
talk about,
lackluster.
matter.
oh, we
This was
criticizing Tank for
several.
fucking
He's had
losing.
several lackluster
Hell yeah.
performances.
Like I
This is
said,
Tank's
Tank
first
Davis
win. Get
is
on.
no different. He is no
And
different than
you
Deontay
probably got
Wilder.
Richard for the
Tank
stars.
Davis is going to be
Who
just like
didn't have
Wilder.
it?
Every time he fights somebody good, he's gonna lose.
They can't
Watch.
take it. They can't take it. You guys just said Tank didn't look good yesterday. He looked worse than Shakur last week, and you guys asked what? That's all you said. He lost yesterday. And you got to
Tank
wait.
Davis hasn't looked good in a lot
He
of
looked like
fights.
a black. He looked like a
You
black
gotta
Who
Canelo.
understand this.
hasn't looked good in a
But
lot
but
of
but this is
fights?
the
So it
this is the
doesn't
problem that
matter.
I
Like,
have with
bro, what do
Tank
you
fans.
mean?
This isn't the first time he's looked bad. He looked bad against Esai Cruz, who is
No, he
trash.
didn't.
No,
Nah,
he
he
did
What are you
not.
didn't.
No,
talking
you
about?
tripping,
There are
Tony.
people who will
He
argue
did
with you
not
that he
look
lost
good
that
bad.
fight.
No, he didn't.
Nah,
There
this
are,
guy
No,
hate
I
Tank, man. I'm
I
guarantee
starting to.
thought
You
you,
I'm
really.
I'm a
I
I'm
Tank
starting to
fan, and
really.
I
guarantee
thought
you.
he
Hey,
lost the
it's
fight
cool. It's
too.
cool. It's cool not to
against
like
Lost to
Tank,
Esau
but it seems like
Eastside?
Cruz.
you
Yeah,
Y'all
hate
yeah,
him,
gotta
man.
go
y'all,
back
y'all
and
a little
rewatch
You
that
seem
biased
like
type
fight.
you
shit.
hate him, man.
Y'all gotta go back and watch
Okay,
that
You
fight.
seem
so
like you
so
got
you
like
just
really
heard. Hold on,
like
Rich.
you.
Every time I talk, you have to interject, and I don't interject on you. So I'm
Nah, I'm
gonna ask
being
for the
dead
same
serious. It
respect.
seems like you want to do something to
No, no,
Tank,
no, no, no,
man.
no. Listen to me. Here's
It
the
seemed like
fact of the matter. You just heard somebody on the panel say they thought Tank lost to Esai Cruz. I did not start that. I
oh,
did not
okay,
make
okay,
that.
okay. I
I'm
thought you
telling you
said
what
that.
other people say.
I said
So
it.
it's the fact
I
of the
That's
said it.
matter.
crazy. That's
It
crazy.
It ain't
I don't
crazy. You
care
need to
what
go
you
back and
think.
look at that fight.
I watched that fight
Here's
like
the fact of
10
the matter.
times.
He looked bad against Esai Cruz. He looked bad against Mario Barrios till he got the
No,
knockout.
he didn't look bad
You know,
against Mario
bro,
Barrios.
y'all
He was
pushing
That's
it
not.
to
crazy.
any
So
goddamn
what you
shit.
mean? Hold on, time out, Tony. How you? Okay, so let me
Bro,
ask
like,
you a
are we
question.
serious?
Tony, let me ask you a question, right? You saying he looking bad in all of these fights. Wouldn't that mean he's fighting higher level competition? Because he's
No, it
not
means
looking bad in
no,
these
Nah,
no,
I
no.
don't
fights.
It
say
means
that
no
though.
2 cents.
No, hold on, because he's not these fights you're referring to, he's not looking bad in them. They're competitive fights. So you want him to be in fights that's not competitive? Like it sounds like that's what you're saying.
What I'm telling you is, Esai Cruz would get blown out by any of the other fighters. Blown out. If Tank is
I
the
don't know
guy that
about
you
that.
think he is, if he really is that guy, this low opposition wouldn't put him in hard fights. We're
Here's
talking
my
Man,
about
thing, right?
fighters
Man, this
like
is
like
As
some
we're
weird shit
opposed
talking
to
out
about
of
his
fighters the
nowhere.
other
as
fighters
a
would just walk through.
okay, I hear what you're saying, but as opposed to his contemporaries who you feel like are fighting even tougher, better competition?
Do I need to go through it again like I did last
Can I
time?
say something?
Go
Yeah,
yeah,
ahead.
go.
can I make a
You
point
full of
on what he
shit.
just said?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm the one that said that I don't think he won the Cruz fight, and I'm a Tank fan. But here's the thing: when I go back and look at that fight, he didn't look good in that fight, and there's no excuses about a broken hand. It is what it is. But as far as Mario Barrios, that was a great fight. We
Mm,
actually got to see him box,
mm,
like straight box. That's why I say yesterday, what I'm paying attention to is all these corner issues, uh, Calvin Ford not doing his thing, and you got three people talking in your ear. I don't know nobody
right.
that when they're in pressure moments can listen to 10 people talking in your ear and get
Yes,
some
very
solid
so.
advice. That's just crazy.
I
Facts
just
are
want.
what it is. Hold on, let me finish, bro.
Okay,
I'm not gonna cut
go
you
ahead, go
off.
ahead. I stopped already. Go ahead.
And another thing that my thing is, I think what I really see is I think he's just building it up because y'all got to remember who his predecessor was. He learned a lot of antics from Mayweather. The fact that they booed him is a good sign. That means the next fight, him and Roach fight, that automatically gonna sell out. A, because everybody's hoping that Lamont is going to actually knock him out, or at least it's going to be a fight. But what I'm anxious to see is Tank really going to take the fight serious and actually fight? Because I've watched all his fights. I've never seen him fight like that. Anybody can remember a time where he just fought like he just didn't even care? In the Mario Barrios, the ninth and 10th round, Tank was pouring it on with slick boxing. He outboxed Mario. And I'm not saying Mario is a world beater, but he does have the WBC in 147. So he is a champion. So, and as far as all these other people, it's hard to really fight your friends. It is really hard to fight your friends. I don't care if they pay you, don't pay you, get paid for it. But when you cool with somebody, it's hard to bring that demon mode out. But I think the next time they fight, because of all this trash talking, I think Tank will really, he will actually box with Lamont. Just really
All
box. He
right.
don't got to
Shout
learn
out,
jiu-jitsu.
hold
All
on.
he
Shout
got to
out to
do is
hold
box.
on. Shout out to everybody out there listening to the show. Listen, we trying to get to 100 likes before we get off to here today. We got about 20 minutes left. Does anybody want to hop on the panel, give other people a chance to hop up here? We got
Yeah,
about 20
I'll hop
minutes
up.
yeah, I
left.
can.
And Teach, you want to get your final? Oh, Teach hopped
Yeah,
off.
I
Hey,
could. Yeah,
get your final
yeah,
2 cents off for sure. But hey, if you out there listening, come on, punch the like button. It's free. Get the likes
Yeah.
up. We got to get 100 likes before we get off of here today. Get the likes up. We're at somebody. Let me know how many likes we got. But go ahead, Teach.
yeah. So the person that says that's not how Tank fights, I gotta push back a little because I mean that's how Tank fights, right? Um, that's one of the ways he fights. He starts off slow, he gauges his opponent, and he goes in for the attack. This is pretty much what he did in this fight. It just didn't work against Roach, and it is what it is. Um, so again, there are going to be fighters that could offset what Tank does, and again, Roach proved it. And as for Tank, I don't know if he necessarily has to take a rematch because for one, we know the business value is always going to be there. He could always take another fight, make money, and then come back to that fight. But as a man, if you have competitive spirit, if you have pride, you probably take that rematch right away. But to me, like I don't care if he does an immediate rematch or he fights somebody else. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me.
Mm.
All right. Peace.
All
All
right,
right,
Teach.
Teach.
Thank you for
All right,
coming
Teach.
up. Thomas Hill, welcome to the panel. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
2 cents is first and foremost a card that got hit it on actually produced and turned out, man. Great fights on that card, with the exception of maybe one where my man Jared Hurd, he just don't have it no more. But other than that, great fights all the way around. Shout out to Gary Russell Jr. I'm not Gary Russell Jr., but Gary Antoine Russell for going in that ring and being the former version of himself prior to all the things that transpired with his life since his dad, man. It's a great, great, great performance by him, and I couldn't be any happier for him. Excellent fight by Martin Puello. I thought that was a hell of a contest. Shout out to Lamont Roach. He showed up and he showed out. I agree with the last gentleman that spoke right before Teach left. It definitely didn't look like he was fighting normally like he fights, but you got to give Roach some credit for that as well too. I do believe that you can take advantage of that momentum. I believe that now the world sees chink in his armor, so they're itching, really truly itching for that fight. Hopefully, we get to make those fights so we can let the ring play it out. Because today is National Take Hey Holiday, and everybody should show out as much folks did. Because it's been a moment that everybody been waiting for. So let them have their day. You really get to truly see the hate that's in it, and the hate that we have for our folks as a whole. Because they did this with Shakur when he didn't perform well. Did this with Devin when he didn't perform well. Ain't not exempt. Hey, but
Right,
that
facts,
being said,
facts, facts. Yes, everybody got their criticisms of Tank today. Nobody is quote unquote defending or whatever word you want to
there's
use.
nothing to defend.
Exactly.
There's nothing to defend.
Did the person who said Mario Barrios is the WBC champion at 147 fall off, or is they still here?
He fell off.
Okay, I just want to say this. Here's the fact of the matter. Mario Barrios did not beat anybody to become a champion. He was literally given the belt in a draw against Abel Ramos. He did not even win the belt that he has. So that right there is the first time I've ever heard of a champion becoming a champion in a draw and getting the actual full title put around their waist. The only reason why he was in the interim status is because all the belts were vacated because Spence and Crawford moved up. Furthermore, he got whooped by Once Upon a Hairline, Keith Thurman, who was on the couch for 3 years.
I mean,
Came back and
I
whooped
need
him.
y'all to break down every fighter's championship
No.
fight.
I'm not breaking on everything. What I'm saying
Like
is this.
y'all wild with that, man.
I'm not. What I'm saying is
It's
Tank
fast.
Davis repeatedly fights low opposition, and eventually, if he doesn't retire before, he's going to fight somebody who's high level, not a Lamont Roach, because I don't even think he's the best guy at 130. I think all the other champions beat him pretty easily. I think Foster dances around him all night. I think Casase beats him up, and so do I think Navarrete beats him up. So I don't even have him rated at 130 as the guy, let alone an elite. So again, time will tell. Time will tell. But we're gonna find out very quick how good Lamont is, because I don't think he's like Tank. I think he'll fight the other champions, unlike Tank has never done. So we'll see.
So now Lamont Roach is C level.
No, let him have his way. Remember, Tank is the only one that they hold this standard to.
Yeah, let them have their moment in the spotlight, child. Let them just get it over because Tony clearly got a lot on his chest.
Oh, he done blew his level. That's his day.
I've been saying it for years.
His month, his year. Hey, with this being said, I'm hoping that this is the fuel that allows them all to make these fights, because before Lamont Roach was even a go, there were other fighters that he supposedly is ducking and are champions that didn't want to go. So we hoping now this will make it easier for them all to make these fights, because I want to see them all. And then the ring will tell the truth. Then the ring will show that his Tank is just some overhyped, overrated fighter. Then the ring will make sure it's certain that he was really truly backing away from those said champions. And then the ring will show that those said champions that he is being compared to that are not doing that will finally likewise fight the people that you say Tank is running from too.
So don't y'all think we need more overhyped fighters so we can have more American stars, big stars in boxing?
No, I want to see fights. I don't give a fuck about the stars.
I mean, I'm just saying, because that's what's gonna bring the you get what I'm saying? That's what's gonna bring the crowds and the eyes and the attention to boxing. That's what's gonna make the kids grow up to be boxers, like that type of thing. So it's like y'all cut down the only person that's bringing that type of attention and that type of quote unquote want to and inspiration to the sport, but
Because
y'all don't like that. And then
the wrong people get the fame, the spotlight put on them. The wrong people.
How
the
can
low
you say
hanging
it's the
fruit.
wrong? How can
Yeah,
you
because here's the fact of
Because
the
he
matter.
didn't get it.
The reason why I'm saying that is
He's a hater.
when you look at
That's it.
Tank Davis, you can't. I don't care what happened with Devin and Ryan. You cannot compare Tank Davis's resume to Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a way better champion than Tank Davis. Way better. Night and day. It's not even close. Tank Davis don't want to do nothing.
Hey, who do you fight? Who do you fight?
Hold on. So let me get at the shout out to Lee Jackson with the $2 in the super chat. He says, do your research. Barrios' draw was a title defense. Shout out Lee Jackson.
Back to Lee Jackson. No, it wasn't. Do your research. He was the interim WBC champion. Interim. That fight was for the full title. After the draw, he was instated the full title. Do your research.
Wait, who you talking about? Barrios? Tank versus Barrios?
No.
Mario Barrios versus Ramos
was the interim WBC champion.
Oh, okay.
In his last fight against Abel Ramos, it was for the full belt. He got a draw, and he got the full belt off a draw. Do your research. Go to BoxRec, go to Wiki, go wherever you want to look.
Yeah, we're going to have to look that up because that sounds crazy.
Yeah, that being said, I ain't going to come up here and try to crap on Tank. But the PBC with that referee, man, that was crazy work right there. You know, they Tank was saying that he didn't think he could get the decision over there in Saudi. Shoot, I don't think Shakur could get the decision over here with the PBC. He probably did. It probably was a smart move for him not to go to the PBC because that could have been
Didn't,
Shakur.
didn't Roach say Tank told him that he's not gonna get the decision?
Say that again.
I thought I heard Roach say that Tank
Yes,
said
Roach
that
did say
Tank
that.
told him in 11th. That Tank told him like 11th round, some shit like that. You're not gonna get the decision. Or some weird
Oh,
shit
I
like
don't
that.
know. He probably did, but he probably was just joking, though. But you know,
Oh no, man.
that referee
That's
wasn't
weird.
joking, though.
Somebody was complaining about not getting a fair shake, joking about not giving somebody a fake shake. That's weird. But it is what it is.
All right, we
I mean,
got
but that
Big
was clear bias,
Supreme.
though.
We got Big Supreme new to the panel.
Big Supreme.
Big Supreme, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Man, I'm hearing a whole lot of cap.
Uh-oh.
Why niggas lying? Yo, Tony, why you lying, bro?
Cause that's what he do.
Lying about what?
Oh
Barrios
man, we
got
got
elevated
Supreme hating.
before he fought Abel Ramos, bro. He been with champion. He didn't get no
He
belt.
was the interim WBC
Nah,
champion
he got
before he fought
elevated.
Abel Ramos. What are you talking about?
That's why my man Rich said if you gonna hate with facts, bro. Don't make
Supreme, why don't you hate with facts whenever you try to come up here? You know what? In fact, let's do this 2 cents. I'm gonna go on Wiki right now, or I'll go on BoxRec, and we'll look it up. I guarantee you it's gonna say he had the interim title. I guarantee you it's gonna say he had the interim title. I guarantee fucking you. Let's go look right now.
Let's go.
What was this? You talking about at 147?
147. Barrios had the WBC.
You see
got
my
elevated,
screen?
and then he fought Abel
Can you
Ramos.
see my
Get
screen?
no belt off no draw.
Can you see my screen?
We got you.
Who
All right,
the Barrios beat for the belt though?
Right here. Okay, please be quiet. Boom. Interim title. He retained it. Abel Ramos, WBC real belt. He was holding the interim title, defending it. It wasn't until he fought Abel Ramos that it was for the full title. He did not win the fight. It was a draw. But guess what he walked away with? The full title. See, WBC World Welter. You see right here. Do you see right here? Interim. Do you know what an interim belt is?
What does it say?
Do you
before
know
that?
what an interim belt is? Interim title. He got the world title off a draw. Please shut the fuck up.
Now we don't do
Yo,
that.
how you share your screen if you're not the person that's running the? That was crazy.
Yeah,
You said what you said?
I was asking Tony how he was able to share his screen because we getting down over here with
Hey,
the
hey,
debate.
2 cents. I'll tell you how to do it. My bad.
Some other
This
shit
is how you
going
do
on.
it.
Some CIA shit.
This is how you do it.
CIA shit,
If you look
man.
at the bottom of your screen, it says present with a little plus mark.
Oh,
You
so I
click
can
that.
present what Supreme just sent. Watch. Let's see. Share screen. Share screen. Can y'all see my screen?
Negative. That's a negative.
Oh, there we go.
So what does it say? WBC
Okay.
elevates Mario Barrios to full welterweight champion. The WBC
Yo, we learning stuff over here. This ill.
For sure, man.
29-18 KOs to their full welterweight title. This is a move that the World Boxing Council has expected to make after they gave Terence Crawford the champion and recess tag when he moved to 154. So it says the WBC should have elevated Barrios to full champion after they gave Crawford the champion in recess, but waited for this reason. Blah, blah, blah. It's not the ideal way for Barrios to put up the WBC. Full 147 title.
What month is that? That's in June, right?
This says 6/19/24 is when this was published. I don't remember what.
That's June, right?
Yeah. That's
Shut the fuck up, nigga. Fuck up.
Okay, so let me show you how stupid you are.
Hey,
Check
the
this out. Let's go back to my screen. It's your bitch ass.
Hey, Ty, are you on the computer though, Ty?
Yes, I'm on my computer. You can't do it from your phone with your broke.
I understand we got a nice heat.
No, I got a computer too, bro.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
No, I'm gonna keep it cool. I'm gonna keep it cool.
I understand we got a nice, exciting, heated debate going on.
Go ahead.
We look. This how we do it over here at 2 Cents Boxing. We pulling up sources and everything. We throwing it right on the screen. We pulling up
Share my screen
sources and
again,
everything.
because this dude is so stupid. He don't even know how stupid he is.
Fuck up, nigga.
Yeah, share my screen. Share my screen.
Tony, you know we're not gonna be able to keep this civil with the name calling. Let's relax.
Or he started here with his bitch ass.
Come on, let's
I know, I
relax.
hear you, nigga.
Let's relax.
You just wrong and strong, nigga. That's
Okay,
what it
here
is.
we go. Look, she said in June 2024. So that means he never fought for the WBC title. This was not in June. What's the 5th month of the year? Can you please tell me? Because last time I checked, June was the 6th one. Come on, what comes before June? You can count on your fingers if you don't know.
Hey, come on now. Come on, no one slow. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Well,
Tony.
obviously he's slow because this is when he last defended his interim title. The only fight he ever had for that full belt was against Abel Ramos.
But I think they're saying he got elevated and then it was a defense.
The winner of that fight was going to get the real WBC title. He did not win. He drew. He got the real belt off a draw.
No, that's not what happened, Tony. I think
Yo, what's wrong with this nigga, bro? Abel Ramos' fight was in November, bro. What are you talking about? He got elevated in June, then fought Abel in November. Why you don't understand that?
Do you realize he never fought for the WBC title? He was the interim champion. How slow are you?
You trying to talk to niggas crazy and you
How
wrong,
fucking slow are you?
You fucking dumb, nigga. Fuck out of here.
You
nigga.
slow as
You
fuck.
been
You don't
sucking dick
understand.
hating for the last 2 hours.
Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So, one person at a time, y'all.
In May of 24, before June, month before, he only fought and defended the interim title.
But
He
he got
never fought for the
elevated.
real. He never fought for the real WBC title. Whenever he fought Abel Ramos, he had a draw and got the real title off a draw.
No, he
Okay,
never
now what's the
fought
opposition
belt.
saying? The opposition is saying what?
So Tony,
That
let me
he
ask you
was-
a question. Tony, which makes more sense? He got elevated and got the belt and then defended the title and got the draw, or that he got the title off of a draw? Which one of those make more sense to you?
Did he get the title off a draw or not?
No.
No, that's what
Oh
I'm
my
asking
God.
you. Which one makes more sense? That he got elevated like the article that Ty just showed said, then he defended the title and got the draw, or that he won a title off of a draw?
I
Which
will
one of those
restate
makes
again.
more
I
sense?
will restate what I said from the beginning. He never won the WBC title in the ring. He got it off a draw. He never won the belt. He didn't even fight for the belt in a vacated title match.
Because he got elevated.
Wait, this fight right here, the fight right here that's for the belt. Did the other guy have a belt though?
No, Abel Ramos.
Well,
did not
then
have a
okay,
belt.
okay. So then, look. So then, is this box rec right? So what they're saying is the title was on the line. They're not necessarily saying that he wasn't the champion. You got to read between the lines on this. You know what I'm saying? If he was the interim champion, if something happens, the interim champion gets elevated to the full champion, and then he had this fight right here. The next fight.
Wow, my man frequent the voice of reason.
Who did he beat to get that title? Who did
He
he
got
beat to get the
elevated.
He
WBC
didn't have to
title?
beat nobody because if you the interim title and the champion is not there, the interim title holder gets elevated to the champion, bro.
All
Who
right,
did
y'all
he
check
beat
it
to
out.
get the
We're gonna
title?
check it
That's
out.
what the interim
Did he,
title is
did he
for.
have a draw? Did he have a draw with Abel Ramos? He actually lost that fight if we want to get technical, but did he have a draw with Ramos?
Yes, we saw Tank have a draw too, and Tank got to keep his belt too, bro.
Yeah, we all watched Tank
Carlos
lose as
Adames
well.
just got a
Good
draw.
old boxing, business as usual.
All right, well, listen up, y'all. It's almost 7 o'clock. We're gonna go around the panel. Always a good time when Tony come up here, shaking the table, getting the panel all riled up. Today we brought the research out. Now I didn't know folks can share their screen. That's gonna be interesting moving
What the
forward.
research and the screen sharing now?
But Tony reviews. I'm gonna let you go first. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I'll finish where I began. When you keep fighting low opposition, eventually you become low opposition. We just watch low opposition beat Tank. It's plain and simple and easy as that. And Tank fans, y'all can cope as much as you want. But the minute he actually gets the balls to fight another number one fighter, he's going to lose again. Except this time, it won't be a robbery where he gets a draw or skates out, he's actually going to get a loss on his record because he's not that guy. He's never been that guy. That's why they move him the way they moved him, and it's been obvious for years. It's just people don't want to accept it. It's the Deontay Wilder effect. He's popular because he knocks people out, but the people he knocks out are not quality. They don't matter. They could all beat the guys that Tank beats. What I do hope happens, and I'll land on this, I hope Lamont Roach actually fights one of the other people at 135 or another champion at 130, because then we're going to actually see how good he is. I bet he loses.
He just fought
on
a
that.
champion
I'm
at
out.
130, Tony. All right, Tony, peace out. He just fought another champion at 130, and I'm so glad that all the other fighters are fighting just the greatest of opposition in the world. Fire Frequency, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show? Listen,
Man,
everybody's
I don't,
entitled to their own opinion, as you can see over here at 2 Cents Boxing. No matter how ill informed or wrong it is. Fly Frequency, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
man, I don't like when people do that. They now all of a sudden everybody acting like Tank is a hype job, and thinking everybody can beat Tank and all of that. I don't like when we do that. We see somebody not, have a, they might have a not so good showing in the fight, and then all of a sudden, they're trash, they overrated or something like that. I just think that's crazy. I still think that Tank is who he is, but I just think he had the wrong approach to Lamont Roach. That's all. And I think Lamont, it was just the perfect recipe for him to not look good in that fight. You had a change of the his coach. He didn't have Calvin Ford leading him, as the trainer. The lead trainer. I think that played a part in it. You had Ramadan coming in on that day. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different factors. I think it was the perfect storm for him not to look good. I think Tank could bounce back. I really think he should fight Lamont Roach again. Whatever he got signed or whatever, they need to do something with that, and they need to postpone it, push it back, and he need to fight Lamont Roach again, man. I don't think triangle theories work. So, just because we saw that happen, I don't think that means that, Shakur can beat him and Devin can beat. Well, Devin, we ain't going to talk about Devin because he had a different weight class, but I don't think that means Shakur and Loma and everybody else, all his peers in that weight class could beat him. I just think that's crazy thinking. Other than that, yeah, that's all. I ain't going to say too much. That's all I got to say, man. Salute to everybody on the panel. I'm out.
Imagine that Flyer Frequency being a voice of reason today.
I was just about to say, am I dreaming?
This is how y'all know y'all taking it too far, man. Shout out to Lee Jackson with the $2 in the super chat. He says he got elevated after Bud had to drop the belt. Shout out Lee Jackson. All right. NHA, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
All right. I think Tank definitely need to run that back with Roach first and foremost. That needs to take precedence over anything. But if you don't fight Roach, you got to run it back with one of the top guys at 135. And most likely, in my opinion, you got to be Shakur. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not gonna say say Tank ain't what I thought he was. I mean, definitely kind of like disappointed me, but I still see the same skill level displayed. The first doing like most of the first half of the fight. But one thing I can't stand is motherfuckers coming up on here now want wanting certain people to get Tank Grace and shit. Because I remember a couple years ago, Shakur was the clear number 2 guy, and he still is. But even Tank fans would admit that he was the clear number 2 guy. Man, he was that dude that could give Tank the closest fight. But he had that fucking one terrible performance and shit, and he got the win, clear win. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, spared him nothing. But now y'all want to, oh, don't throw Tank away off of one fight. Yeah, have that same energy across the board. Same thing with Haney. I ain't the biggest Haney fan, but motherfuckers ready to dump him in the fucking trash and shit after he got his ass beat by Ryan. And as far as like all the mental instability I think probably going through, I don't want to downplay that, but he ain't the first boxer that went inside a fight with all types of distractions. Some could say Haney got in that fight, prior to getting the ring with Ryan, all types of distractions. Specifically coming from was the promotional company side, Ryan's antics. Well, niggas ain't catching ain't cutting him no slack. These same Tank fans ain't cut him no slack. Shakur, last minute replacement. All the other antics by fucking Mama Schofield. That's a distraction. But motherfuckers ain't cutting them no slack and shit. You know what I'm saying? Off of good ass performance. So to me, I just wish people just keep it, a buck all the way across. And I think saying boxing will go a long ways if we as fans, actually do that. And that's all I got. Y'all be easy. Have a
All right, shout
blessed
out
Sunday.
NHA for coming on the panel. All right, the hoops boys is jumping through. Good lord! I mean, we got our opinions about what we think happened. You can have your opinion about yours. Nobody telling you wrong. So let me get this super chat. Shout out to Tim Carey with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "First time I agree with frequent salute." Shout out Tim Carey. Let me see. Next we got Boxing Hacker with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Is it taking too far? When Devin or Kerr had bad showings, y'all start cooking them. So Tank had a bad showing, so he got to get the same energy." Shout out to Boxing Hacker. Now, I don't know about y'all. I just feel like they want to keep saying, "Oh, he got to get the same energy," because nobody is going against nothing y'all saying. Y'all coming up here giving y'all 2 cents, and we're pretty much agreeing or saying that we understand. But obviously, y'all want to keep saying that Tank has to get that same energy because y'all constantly keep repeating it over and over. So, all right, hold on, let me get one more. We got one more. Listen, I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel today. It means so much to me. Y'all have no idea how good it feels to know that people love my content. They love my show enough to take their hard earned money and support the channel. Shout out to Dion with the $4.99 in the super chat. He says, "Salute to Lamont for gaining respect on the largest stage with the face. Also, salute to Frequent for the voice of reasoning. Respect." Shout out Dion. See, Frequent, you get you some fans when you're not up here doing all that capping. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead, Ty. What's your final 2
I
cents?
was
What you got
about
for
to
the
say I
show?
gotta pinch myself, make sure I'm alive, because I agree with freaking for the first time ever. No, I mean today is the Tank haters moment in the spotlight, so you got to give him grace. I want to give a little pushback though to what NHA said. The reason that I believe Shakur got so much backlash for the Padley fight is because he went on X like he just beat King Kong or somebody. Like it's certain things that you just don't do. He's a replacement. He's a replacement. Whatever. That's a whole nother story. As far as Tank, he definitely could have looked better. I think he will look better. He had an off night. Who knows what's really going on in that corner over there? So that's a part that needs to be ironed out. He just to me last night he just didn't seem like his heart was in it. But hopefully this will wake him back up, and put that fire back in his belly and come back and show us why he's the face of boxing. But I mean, as far as him not being who he says he is and he's not that guy, I mean, he's had 30 plus fights and he's knocking everything out. You can't win them all or you can't knock everybody out. Some niggas ain't gonna go quietly in the night. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? Some have better chins than others. So I mean, I don't really think it's all that. Like you said, somebody said before, like if you don't get the knockout, then no, he looks trash. Like no, that's just what we're used to. But Tank can box too. You know what I mean? So he just needs to spin the block and rematch him. That's it.
All right, Ty, thank you for coming up and giving your 2 cents.
No problem. I'll holler at y'all. Good night.
All
Good
right,
night.
all right. It's always a good time when Ty come up on the panel and give her 2 cents. Shout out to Robert Jones with the $2 in the super chat, and he says not one word, just supporting the channel. Robert Jones, appreciate it. Mr. Greg, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Oh, I'll just finish off with this real quick. Shout out to Lamont Roach. I hope everyone was paying attention. He showed how good he could be last night. This is not to say he can't show it again at 130, but he came up to 135 and showed how good he was against the face of boxing. And we have to always keep in mind part of who you are is how you handle things when you're in a crisis. Tank had a minor crisis, but how he handled it is also who he is. So he's going to make those kind of mistakes like he made, and we're going to have to accept that that's also part of who he is. Doesn't mean he's not he's not a bum, he's not washed up. He just showed you parts of him that we didn't like, but that is who he is as well. He will fall apart, and he can get in the ring with another guy who can have the same effect on him, and he can have the same problems. I hope he doesn't, that he's had outside the ring, particularly with his corner. But this just shows you why you have to stay sharp mentally and physically if you're going to be in this sport. And particularly when you have the status and the star power that Tank has. He can't afford to have moments like that because you are going to get criticized, and rightfully so. As Ty said, you spent your money, you expect to see him at his best. He owes it to the fans to be that way. But Lamont Roach also owed it to the fans to be as good as he was, and he did. So you have to always, when you make criticism, when you're watching fights, you got to look at how fighters are responding. You got to look at what they were doing prior to the fight, because you bring that into the ring, whether you like it or not. You bring all of your nonsense, your BS, you bring it to it because it's in your head. And this is what we saw last night, but I think it was still great. We got a chance to see a guy elevate. We got a chance to see where a guy can be vulnerable because of how he was thinking and how he was reacting on this particular night. Will there be a rematch? I certainly hope so. But we know how that business is. He's supposed to have, I think he's probably has signed for one or two other fights, and they probably want to do that, his business people, to see how he's responding. I do hope they fix that nonsense that's in the ring. I'm sorry, in the corner, because that's going to help him hurt him as well, and that's part of your fight plan. Your corner, how you prepare, how you think, and how sharp you are mentally and physically. So, those who are like say, well, he can't do this to Shakur, those are different fights. How you respond to those fights is going to be very different than how you respond to this one. So we should never discount a guy because he came in and what happened to him in this fight, because the next fight he could be spectacular again. And that means everything is working again. And that's all I will say on that. You just got to look at the fighters from that perspective, and you won't get so screwed up and thinking, well, he was just good today, but go back down to 130 and show us what you really are. Why are you going back down when the face of boxing was up and you came up? That doesn't make sense, Tony. That doesn't make sense. Think about what you said. Go back down to 130 to show us how you really are when you came up and you literally, in my opinion, beat the face of boxing at a higher weight class. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, all right.
All
Thank
right.
you, Mr. Greg. Shout out to Big Dog Willie with the $5 in the super chat. He says Tank duck a midget at Chuck E. Cheese over a slice of pizza. Then ducked a 5-year-old when he took Tank's big wheel. Pure, incredible, super duper facts. Shout out Big Dog Willie. Big Supreme, what is going on? Listen, I know you got a lot to say. I know you've
Nah, I
been
ain't gonna,
listening.
I ain't gonna hold it up. I'm gonna keep it brief. I'm gonna keep it short.
What is your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I'm driving. I just wanted to say, like, I don't like to get into the race talk and all of that, but I'm starting to notice a pattern with certain critique certain boxers, right? They always bring up Wilder, they bring up Tank, they bring up Spence. These niggas don't never bring up Triple G. They don't bring up the fact that he was at 160 his whole career and never unified when he lost to Canelo. And he got an IBF title and got elevated. Nobody said nothing. He fought Kell Brook, brought him up from 147 and 160. They applauded that. All blue bone. Nobody said he was bringing up a smaller fighter. None of that. So I just find it weird when someone like Tank brings up somebody to 135 or 130. They saying he's picking on a smaller fighter, but then you look in the ring, he looks way bigger than Tank. So it's like the hypocrisy and consistency is like, come on, man. Like we want to keep it civil on these panels and not call it out and say what it is, but we know what it is. And that's all I really had to say. I wish I'd have caught you earlier, but
What you think about what Boxer Hacker said? He said that was 100 years ago. No one cares about Triple G now, but I don't think that's the
that's
point.
not the
Boxer
point.
Hacker. That's not the point about it if they care about him now. The
Of course
point
not.
is,
But it's crazy because they always bring up rehydration clauses and catch weights, and they don't mention that Canelo had boxing currently, but he's still a face of boxing. So I just find it weird that these other dudes could do the same thing on a consistent basis, and there's no smoke for them. Even when like I come defense too, like I feel like they get a lot of undue criticism as well. Like, yeah, we joked on Shakur for the Pally performance and stuff like that, but we're not mistake and say that he's gonna wash Jamel Herring and he's gonna wash Tank. That's not how this thing works. If Tank is not fighting high level opposition, you can't give Shakur credit for fighting Pally and Yoshino. Yeah, to a Teofimo, to a Jermaine Ortiz, to a Lomachenko, based on what you've seen versus Pally and Yoshino and Autumn. It doesn't work like that. So I feel like the Tank is just weird to me, bro. Like I just find it weird and strange. And I get it. Some dudes really want to see him fight the fighters that they want to see, but other dudes like a Tony or even like the hate be too personal. Like you really don't like this guy. Like they bring up his personal life, they bring up this, they bring up that. It's not that serious, bro. You got a man that came on a panel that's got elevated after getting a draw. Like research is easy, bro. He's so overconfident in his lying that he pulled it up and was wrong. Like this, a lot of these dudes in the YouTube community, they got a loud voice and they just be wrong. They don't want to give us no facts. It's just personal hate. And as long as I'm here, I'm gonna keep,
you cut off Jim. You say as long as you hear what?
turn this off. I'm driving. This shit connected to the car.
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Oh
I can
yeah,
hear
I
you.
just was saying, as long as I'm here, I'm gonna push back on people, like a frequent or something like that. I feel like if you gonna hate, you gotta come with the facts, bro. I like to deal in facts. Yes, Tank is, a lot of his moves you can criticize, bum, bro. And when I look through boxing history, Oscar De La Hoya was the pound for pound star and face of the sport, and he almost got knocked out by Ike Corte, who was a. So my thing is like we've all seen these bad performances from multiple greats. If you look at Floyd Mayweather, he took a knee versus Carlos Hernandez with his hand and stuff like that. So it's like we've seen these bad this like motif that Tank is supposed to be like Superman. It doesn't work like that, bro. You're gonna have bad performances every now and then, bro. So I felt like this was a knockout streak. He's been looking great. Sometimes you drop a dub. Maybe he wasn't focused. Maybe like Frequent said, it could have been Ramadan and he wasn't right or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the point situation. I get what they say on the flip side, saying, well, y'all don't give the same um just due to like a Shakur when he has a bad performance. That's not what I'm saying. Cause I felt like I I'm glad he got the stoppage. He got him out of there. What my problem is with Shakur is on the Twitter, and he's talking about how he's so cold and nobody can fuck with me and this, that, third. That's why niggas like saying he be trolling, but he don't really be saying too much, you know. But that's all I got to say, though. I know you've been up here all day, and that's
All
really it.
right. All right. Shout out Big Supreme for coming up on the panel. Rich, you got 1 minute. I'm closing out the show. What you got? Rich.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I
Hello?
can hear you. Got 1 minute. What you got?
Yeah, I said I just want to follow up on what that guy said that was just on here, man. Like, I ain't got no hate towards Tank. I actually like him. I ain't like the other guys who just start just straight hating and start talking about his life and stuff like that. But basically, salute to you, man. Keep doing your thing.
All
I
right. All right.
appreciate you letting me in.
I appreciate it, Rich. Big Dog Willie, you got 45 seconds. What's your final 2 cents? What you got?
This won't be long. Yeah. So everybody in the chat who's mad because I was making fun of y'all, too goddamn bad. That's what I'm gonna say. Too goddamn bad. You guys deserve this break for the next 3 days. I'm gonna say, what is it? I'm a Catholic, so when Wednesday come along, start Lent, so I won't be getting on you guys' cases. But too goddamn bad. All last week I heard all Shakur hate, and now I'll give it to you guys for 3 days. You guys not a whole week. So anyway, kick my ass. I'm just playing. Hey, she said boxing. Have a blessed day. I love your
All right.
show. All is well.
Appreciate it. Shout out to Big Dog Willie. Hey, y'all block Big Dog Willie till Wednesday. We'll take care of that real smooth and quick. Nah, I'm joking, but I appreciate everybody for coming up here today, giving their 2 cents. Listen, this is a space. This is a safe space, might I say, where everybody can come over here and get their 2 cents. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, no matter how wrong, ill-informed it is. But we definitely gonna let you know our 2 cents, and we're gonna get the facts straight and get you straight and situated over here today. We was sharing screens and box recs and showing research and sources. It was going down over here today on 2 cents boxing. So listen, if you don't want your host all in the video cussing you out, timing you out the chat, leaving you in the background, kicking you on off the panel, come on over to 2 cents boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Make sure you punch that like and subscribe button on your way out. Catch me live again Friday at 6:30 p.m. Or I may do a 2 cents after dark this week. I don't know. Pay attention to my community post. I will let you know. But see you next time on 2 cents boxing.